If fighting was a god, I would worship him. I would bow to him. I would pray for victory. For he only grants opportunities. But behind every god lurks a devil. And the devil wants me to take a dive. My name is Annatomic. And this is how my legend was made.
When footsteps fall in eldritch hollows, and spectres flee into the shadows, that is the time when horror's heroes abound, culling the ghouls that go bump in the night.
From the heart of Lovecraft country and the birthplace of American religious liberty, my name is SHANTH ENJETI. You're watching SHANTH ENJETI Art. And hello, everybody. It is time for a chill hangout art stream. And I got to say hello to my channel members. You guys can actually see me moving here. This is, I'll tell you about this setup in a second. Cranberry Langers, my man, OG channel member. It's great to see you. Nomad Damon. Yes, there's a lot of wild stuff about BioShock. I love that game's aesthetics. And yeah, we can get into it. We can talk about BioShock. This is going to be a fun sort of chill stream. Amoral Fat 40 ounce. I was watching Nosferatu remake, and it's really good. I have half an hour left to finish it. Really great film. Love it. Down with the wood grain. You know how it is. Brent McKay, how are you doing? Or Mackey, sorry, not McKay. Dyslexia. Brent Mackey, it is great to see you, and I will get hooked on phonics. I promise. Caleb Reynolds, it's great to see you. Caleb, how are you doing this fine morning? Did I miss anybody else? Hang on a second here. I think I got everybody because it's not like guys. So I have been doing one of the things I love to do and probably do too often. I was burning the candle at both ends, and I was just completely wiped out. You know, the last like 4 or 5 days. I think I can't tell you what day it was, but I might have been yesterday. I slept till 3:40 in the afternoon. Like I went down. Like I think I got food poisoning or something, but I was like wiped out, man. Wiped out, and I just passed out, slept all day, woke up, did not know whether to scratch my watch or wind my behind. It was craziness. I've been doing a lot of work, you know, obviously on SPRINGBALL, on the sketches that were auctioned. I'm like adding more detail and stuff to them, getting those things ready, all sorts of stuff. And my wife has been looking at me the last couple of days, and she's, you know, or last week or so, and she's like, "I'm worried about you, babe. You don't stop working. Like you just have not stopped working." And she's like, you know, for I don't know how many years now. She's like, you know, we have taken took like a couple like 2 day or overnight vacation or something. But she's, you know, was talking to me about, you know, it's our 25th wedding anniversary coming up. Holy cow. And all this other stuff. But she said, I'm just worried about you. You're not sleeping. You're not really taking care of yourself at all. You've just been working, 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 working. Yeah, amen. Right? It's absolutely that, man. And she goes, you need to take a break. I need you to take a break from thinking about work, which is funny because I can't avoid that because I've got to play trailers, and I do my best not to not to think about work, but it's just I think Annatomic is launching on June 14th. Bosch's PIGMAN is almost to $20,000. I may have crossed it. Someone's got to look it up because I can't. I'm on doctor's orders. And I said, but babe, I like to you know, make artwork, and I like to hang out. I like to do whatever. And she's like, well, you got to figure out a way to do it where you're not running yourself into the ground. So at least, you know, for a little bit. And so what I decided to do today is I'm going to do a lap stream. I'm just going to paint how I paint when I'm by myself or when I'm sketching and I'm scribbling. It's not going to be the greatest composition. It's not going to be the greatest thing, and we're just going to chill and hang out. I'm going to talk about all the cool stuff that I've been thinking about lately and enjoying. You know, but it's yeah, it's just been crazy. It's a wild thing, and you guys, I'm sure, know what I'm talking about, but it's a wild thing when you look at your laptop and you associate your laptop directly as something you've got to perform for. Like you've got to just get ready or you have all your stuff together. It's a wild thing. What is up, Andy Montemayor? How are you doing, my friend? It is great to see you. I hope I pronounced that all right. Hey, Sean. Yeah, I work overnights. It kind of ruins everything. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, I had a buddy, that I was talking to who what do you call it, was working nights out at a ship dock, and he just said it just wrecked him, man. He was just in rough shape, and it's really crazy because my schedule is nuts, but it's everyone else's schedule and blah blah. But it's these are things that um the biggest problem with all of them is myself, as with many things. I love what I do, I too much, and I sometimes forget that I need to, just take a little downtime to paint and not think about, you know, everything, like the camera angles and all that stuff. And I had been writing and working on SPRINGBALL and working on Nosfero and getting that prepped for print and all that stuff, and getting all that stuff organized and looking at the sketches and artwork that I want to just make sure I tighten up just a little bit more for the prints for that campaign and things like that. And it's just it's so important to sit back every now and again, or not sit back, but to sit forward in your lap and just do a sketch. And so I was going to talk to you about all that fun stuff that's going on and blah blah. Yes, I guess if you don't have a schedule that you tell other people, yeah, you'll be led around forever. You 100%. Yeah, that's a tough thing, man, and it's great too. It's great to be here. What's up, Crenshaw FAO? It's good to see you, my friend. How are you doing? So I was working and I was, sitting around and doing various things. I was working on a movie for Pizza Live, and I'm almost got it totally ready. It's a bonkers and bananas movie. I was taking stuff out of gosh, fixing every cut, not every scene, but every cut. So the little jump where the film warps, I'm removing it just for ease of viewing. And I was at that for, I think, 2 days or something like that when I wasn't painting, when I wasn't doing this stuff. And it just, I must have had a bit of a gray look to me because the missus was a little bit concerned. And so I said, look, I'm gonna take it easy. I said, I still got to stream. I still got to do stuff when I can. I'll stream, when I'm up for it. But I will figure out a better setup. And so, what I wanted to do was, I said, I'm gonna just work how I typically work when no one's watching me. I'm gonna work in my lap, and I'm gonna let you guys have kind of a fly on the wall, look at what it's really like. And it's weird too because I really need to get my studio in order. And when I say that, and that's probably a part of all this stuff, when I say that, what I mean is, I was saying to Mrs. Enjetti, I want to get my studio organized to the point to where it's not like it's overly YouTubed or whatever you want to call it. What's up, Mikey? How are you doing? It's good to see you, man. This is the thing, right? I want to make sure I I have it so that I could, if I wanted to, I could film it from any angle. So you guys could see the madhouse that is this place where I work. There's all these different things that I want to do. And and the problem is what I do to relax when I'm not working on my artwork is sketching and painting on my artwork. And that's a weird thing when um about hiking, playing the violin, all of that stuff is a part of what I do, but it's this is really what I've always done to relax. What's up, Scorpio? How are you doing, my friend? And good morning or good afternoon, depending on where you're located in this fine world. Um, and so yeah, so I for a long time I've been obsessed with a Hammer horror movie called Twins of Evil. Just obsessed. It was the first Hammer horror movie that I watched, and it just was so influential on what I do. So when you see Laurel in Nosfero, she's wearing the nightgown of that the Collinson twins wore in the diaphanous nightgown, mind you, that the Collinson twins wore in Twins of Evil. I've even gotten a nod. I did a nod to the Collinsons in my second art book, Rigor Mortrex. So all sorts of things. Yep, this is one of my relaxation paintings, which will probably turn into something. See, the funny thing is with my first two art books, Cranberry Landers, those were relaxation paintings. They just led to a huge fan base on Instagram, and it was totally unexpected. And then people were like, "Are you going to collect these?" So this started out as more ideas for work, and now I'm just saying, nah, just chill. Just you can use it for something at some point, but you don't have to. Don't think of it in those terms. Just paint, just paint. So yeah, and What I was thinking about though when I was painting these is, I want to find a way to do cool stuff when I'm doing these Comics Gate campaigns and doing the stuff I do to get new artwork out there and but also just to make it fun for you guys. So I'm looking at how I don't know how many of you guys in the chat know what these are. If you don't, cool. Just let me know if you do or don't, because I'm this is for interest. This is for data. Have any of you guys? Hey, what's up? Oh, that's awesome. I go on break and Shanth is on. Now I got something to listen to while I hustle. Awesome. Yes, and I've been putting doing some reworking and some painting into that sketch I'm getting ready to mail you. So I just want to make sure I get it as good as I get it. So it's great to see you, Art Hyde. How are you doing? Um, and so there are these things. Curious, just ones or twos, depending on if you know what these are. I didn't for a while. I just kept seeing them and didn't really understand them. But how many of you guys know what lobby cards are for movies? Lobby cards, ones or two. I don't. I honestly don't care either way, as long as you're it's like this is. I don't. I just don't know what they are, Sean, because I am fascinated by these things right now. So yeah, let me know. Drop a one or two in the chat. If you know what a lobby card is, or if have given them any serious general thought, or two if you don't. Lobby cards. One is yes. Yeah, one is yes. Two is no. Yep. Just let me know. Let's see. Okay, one's from Mikey, two from Nomad Damon, one from Brent McKay, uh, Mackie. Oh, Brent. I got to work on myself, Brent. Brent Mackey. My dyslexia will flip things like that all the time. Two, maybe I might not know the name of them. Tentative 1.5. All right. Andy Montemayor is saying two. Okay. So there were these things. Oh, I'm so glad, Art Hyde. I cannot wait to send that to you. So there were these things they did for promotions of movies back in the day, and they were 8.5 or 8x10s, and they were photos with a little bit of note on story, and frequently they could, they'd put them up in the lobby of movies so that you could get a little bit more of the story, and a little bit more promotion for these movies. Yes, you get a glimpse inside the movie. Perfectly said, Amoral Fat 40 ounce. Um, Yes. Oh, yeah. I used to work at a movie theater too, man. Holy cow. Yeah, I worked at a movie theater when I was in high school for a couple of years. And yeah, I remember yeah, getting those beautiful double-sided posters and cleaning up the theaters because I was an usher. One of those things. Well, that's a trip, man. So they have these things, and they were called lobby cards, and they would have little glimpses of the story to kind of tell you what the story was about. Hammer Horror did them for Twins of Evil and a bunch of other movies, and I just was obsessed with them because they weren't in movie theaters when I was coming up. They were kind of like something that phased out more or less in the 70s, and I was born in 76, so I kind of would not have had any real experience with them. And so I was looking at these things, and I started saying, well, I don't really ever want to do a picture book or anything like that. And typically they'd come in like sets of 8, I think, but I'm sure there were more. I'm sure there were some that were sets of 10. And I go, I don't ever really want to do a picture book, but I go because it just doesn't appeal to me, and the stuff I do is a little bit more lurid than that kind of stuff, obviously. And I thought, but wouldn't it be cool to have those be like I do, like if I ever do an 8-page kind of interesting story where I do a lobby card like thing where there's a story on the back and a painting in the front, and it's like an 8-page illustrated story, and the story isn't overly complex. It's much more like, and this is this, and then this happened, da, 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 da. But I thought, wow, this could be a really cool way to just explore things, painting wise, and I have all these stories that I want to just kind of explore a little bit of, and they could be really cool bonuses for campaigns and things like that, because you could slide them in with the books and people get their set a lobby card story. And I don't know, man, it just was exciting to me. And my wife goes, you're on vacation, do some painting for my definition of vacation. So, what's up, Lord Henson, Comic Skater? It's great to see you, man. My surname is more of a mouthful to pronounce, but Mackie is the shortened version of it. Gotcha, Brent. Awesome. Let me see here. All right. Yeah, it's good to see you, Lord Henson. I know it's been crazy scheduling with the streams. And that's the other thing, too. I'm working on a schedule. But so some of the things I've been doing in my studio that I'm having fun with. Let me see if I can do this. Maybe I can. Um, I feel like I should have a better system of this. Um, he said. Um, what is this? This is locked. No, it's not. Okay, never mind. Shanth Enjeti, Razor Kaio, scene locked. Okay, cool. So I have not figured this out yet, but let me see if I can unlock the Razor Kaio, and then we'll be. Oh, it is unlocked. Then how come I can't? Oh, scene is locked. How did I figure that one out? How did I find new ways to make things difficult for myself? Scene. How the hell is this scene locked? Oh, it is. I just hit a lock button. There it is. All right, so now it's unlocked. All right, whoa, that's kind of scary. So guys, I ordered because I wanted to make my background for heaven's sake. I wanted to make my background a little bit more fun. So I've got right there, I got a 30-inch by 40-inch poster of Sinbad, The Golden Voyage of Sinbad, one of my favorite Sinbad movies. So I was like, I have got to do things that are going to make this space more, I don't know, more fun when I'm working. And so yeah, that's my Golden Voyage of Sinbad. What's up, Cursed Hearts Creations? Heart Creations. It's good to see you. I liked Dark Harvest, but I can't give it a glowing review because it was too short, didn't tell much story. Okay, gotcha. Oh, did I miss where we started talking? Oh my gosh, Nomad Damon gifted a membership. Nomad Damon coming out hot, and we got to talk about BioShock too, by the way. And Andy was gifted a membership, so here we go. Let's get a cheerleader for you, man. 2 cheerleaders.
Charge! Charge!
There you go, man. Holy cow. Thank you so much, Nomad Damon. I appreciate it. Yes, that is the Ray Harryhausen version. I love it. What's up, brother Rocky Ballesteros? How you doing, man? Oh, you like the Batmobile better. I love that Batmobile. That's the McFarlane one with the custom Ramen Toys canopy. And I love that stuff, man. And so it's like, I just was saying, when I'm working, like typically how I work is, and this is so bad, like in general, it's like how I drive, for heaven's sake, man. But typically when I work, one of the things I do is, let's see if I can get this on the painting a little bit more. There you go. I usually put one of my feet down, put my sideways, put my other foot on top of that foot, then rest my arm on my leg, and it's horrendous. But it's typically how I work, so that's what we're doing. Is this the new lap cam? Yes, it is the lap cam. Absolutely. Drawing de-stresses me, but painting stresses me the hell out, probably because I'm crap at painting. Well, you know what's interesting, Brent, and something I've been thinking about is, and I'm trying, it's so funny. Like I always say, I'm trying not to think about work, but I want to do more of these painting streams where I'm showing you guys how I work and how I sketch, so that people who are interested in working with painting can get more, I don't know, get more comfortable with it. Because I was not, man, what did I get? Brush hair got in there. Darn it. But I was not a comfortable painter by any stretch, and I did not know how to paint until, gosh, I want to say I started painting after I got out of art school, because I really just did not learn a lot about painting in art school, which is unfortunate. But it's the way it sadly is these days. When I was a faculty member at art school, I really tried to bring skills into the classroom, and can't say that was very lucrative. Because there's a reason why they're not taught. People really just don't want to teach them, and they don't want to teach certain things. And it's the crazy thing for me about this is, I started thinking about a story that I wanted to tell that was kind of like a Grimm's sort of fairy tale, kind of done in a lobby card sort of horizontal 8x10 style. And I was like, I think I want to do these in that kind of like in acrylic painting, because I love to work in a very you know, Frazetta painterly style, and it's one of the things that makes Nosfero what it is and so appealing to me. is because I love to paint, which I never thought I would enjoy doing when I was younger. And it's being an artist and being somebody who is a painter and loves to do this kind of stuff. I got to get my painting time in, or I just run out of energy. And when I run out of energy, I'm no good to anybody. And I was just really running low on energy. I was like, I have got to get myself together. So, that was the thing I started doing. Let's see. Does painting showcase your lack of skills more? Interesting. I don't know. That's a tough question. I guess it depends on the artist. It really does. To me, painting is how I think. So it's uh what's funny is painting is way more forgiving than drawing in a lot of ways, but you just got to get more comfortable at it. Andy, yeah, it's great to have you as a channel member, man. That's fantastic, and thank you, Nomad. I appreciate that. So it's so what I like about Nosfero, and what makes Nosfero so fun for me is Nosfero gets into kind of these sort, I don't want to say bigger issues, because Springball is not short on certain things, but it's yeah, I think it's definitely more mythic, more fairy tale, more classical, and like the Hammer horror movies are. And one of the things I love about it is that, it's like it's a celebration of, to put it mildly, of the female form, and there's, nude figures in it, and there are, diaphanous nightgowns, and all of the things that the Hammer horror movies really did a great job of celebrating. And that's what I do with my painting, because like Frazetta, and like Richard Corbin, and like all of the people that I admire, there's just a directness to painting, and there's a capacity with the subject matter, or with the media, to address subject matter in a way that I think is more powerful. And thank you for dropping Nosfero in the chat, Rock, and thank you for dropping Springball, man. It is great to have you here, man. And so it's yeah, like when I think about painting, and I think about the stuff that sort of speaks to me about it, it's really the I don't know, it just became natural at a certain point. I can't believe that I didn't paint before. It's so strange, and it's even when I'm going back and I'm working on Springball, I'm painting the book, man. It's like there's tons of detail lines, tons of that stuff, but the initial breakdown and the ongoing process of developing the pages is so much more painterly. And I think it's what is making it so dynamic and so good. I added 2 pages to Springball the other day, and it was just easy. It just happened. Yeah, I want to show you guys this. This is like the fun, messy sketch part of it, man. Like, you mess up as a teacher and everybody can see your errors more clearly. Yeah, that's exactly right. Plus, if you make an error in paint, each error costs money. Yeah, that's possibly true. Yeah, thank goodness Shanth is wearing pants while he's. Yeah, well, this. I thought this stream I'm gonna wear pants. I kind of have to. Rock. Your paintings are just so. Oh, thank you so much. Cursed Heart Creations are amazing. Love the depth. Depth. I'm glad. Yeah, it's uh, it's wild, man. It's like uh, when I'm working with paint, everything just and that's the other thing too. I've been working on the computer for, gosh, the last couple of weeks, in the entirety of the Springball campaign period, nonstop, because the more the funding came in, the more excited I was getting about the story in the book, and I just couldn't stop working on it, man. And I was just working on it like around the clock. And and there's something about going for a hike. There's something about, going, leaving the house, but in particular about traditional media, that is so good for you. And I even think, as I've been watching Bob Ross a bit, I even think it's just good for the soul, to just watch and spend some time with traditional painting. When people buy, I've got 2 originals I'm going to be shipping out once I get them finished being detailed for the Comicsgate auction, the King's auctions we do on Ethan Van Sciver's channel. Guys, if you're not subscribed, Comic Artist Pro Secrets. And Ethan hosts us. We do live drawing and live painting streams, or live drawing streams, but I paint because it's just what I like to do. And they are a blast, and go check them out. But, it's like, I think there's some people who paint, and I used to try to be one of these, but I hated painting so much that I was never really committed to it. But there are some people who, like, they paint, they do a drawing, and they kind of fill in the color. I don't do that. I scribble. And this is one of those things. Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate that so much, man. Yeah, that was a crazy time limit, Lord Ensign. I'm telling you, man. It was nuts. Yeah, oh yeah, yeah. I don't take pictures, interestingly. Um, I well, that's not true, is it? Because I do. I take I mean, I guess I make videos of places I go, and I do. That's a really good question. I have to think on that. My internal monologue just hit a wall with that because I don't have one, so it makes it hard for me to answer certain things because I go, is that actually true? Okay, here's a good way of putting it. I don't. I know people go, the photographic memory thing isn't real, and they're right. I mean, I don't know if it's photographic in that sense because I don't know how other people think, but I hold a lot of things in my head. I'm able to really remember images very, very well, and that's a big part. Yes, Rocky, you're terrible. Um, yeah, my daughter has been painting lately too. She mainly does dragons and birds. Hey, those are a good place to start. Um, and so, but yeah, like I could just sort of hold all these pictures in my head, and for me, pushing the paint around and doing things like this, like with this, I've got this hollowed out log here that I want to paint. And I'm like, oh, this will be really cool. Like, what am I going to do with this? And I just go, okay. And I'll just attack this thing with paint. And I change the figures. I wish I could show you this, but I'm trying to be lo-fi today. But I did a version of this painting, or I did this on this canvas, where these figures in the foreground were so much smaller. And it just didn't work in terms of the perspective and the dynamics that I wanted. And it was and I just went and I painted them over. They're gone. Boom. Just scribbled over them. And I'm using on this right here, I'm using a black permanent pen that can write on anything, including glass, and acrylic paints for the initial sketch. So I just scribble, draw, paint. The paint dries. I scribble over the paint sometimes because I'm like, this isn't working right. So painting doesn't have to be, sorry, let me move this here. Painting doesn't have to be so precious. Sorry about that. Sorry about the shake there. It doesn't have to be so precious, you know. It it can be fun. It can be something that you're approaching not too seriously, and you can keep painting over an acrylic canvas. One of the things I was working with Eric Weathers on when he first started painting was I was like going, if you paint the right consistency and viscosity with your paintings, you can do a lot. You can do a lot to change stuff. Let me see if I can get the angle. See, this is the thing. It's almost impossible for me to not think about how it looks for you guys. And then I'm like, I'll look at it and I go, well, now I can't see anything. That's the nature of this thing, the nature of the beast here. So it's just got to find the right angle where it doesn't reflect for me and you. So let me see here. Nomad Damon says, a couple of weeks ago, you mentioned something about it being important to be introduced to learning to paint the right way. Yes, I'm absolutely able to elaborate on that, Nomad Damon. Okay. 90% of learning how to, the first part of learning how to paint. So let's say stage one of learning how to paint is how to mix paint on your palette to the right consistency and how to apply the paint. But it's mainly the consistency. I never learned the consistency. So I would mix paint together and it'd be clumpy, and I would do a lot of work with the paint on the canvas. If you watch me paint and you were to measure, and this is a huge thing I was working with Eric on, and I'm only bringing up Eric because he's my most recent student. I haven't taught at college now for 5 years, I think it is. I think it'll be my 5 year anniversary, July 13th. So that was when I handed in my letter of resignation, and I was out of academia after almost 20 years teaching. And and that was one of the things that when I was in school, there wasn't a lot of they spent no time on that. So I would mix on the canvas and it would get clumpy and it would start lifting up. And so if you watch me paint, if you watch these streams, you will see that I spend a lot more, like proportional time, almost 50-50, mixing the paint and applying the paint. So there's a lot of attention on the palette when I'm mixing my paint. Because if you don't get that consistency right, it makes it a worse experience for you. And the only way to learn how to do that consistency, it's a miracle that I was able to teach Eric some of this stuff because it is so hard to do over the internet. It's just really tough to do. And I think he's having fun now painting, which is the main thing. I hope he's having fun anyway. But that's the trick, is just the viscosity of the paint, the water to pigment ratio. I use water with heavy body acrylics, and that's what I suggest. Like if someone says, "What? Well, can I use this?" I'm like, "This is what I use. This is what you should do." Because this is the only thing I can vouch for, if that makes sense. And I paint on canvas panels because canvas panels are not that expensive. I have these black canvas panels. I think I got them on Amazon, and I think I might have gotten 20 for $15. Yeah, Eric is great, man. Eric's my dude, man. Eric is gonna be my lettering consultant on SPRINGBALL. Um, and he lettered Nosfero, and I'm just really, I'm glad to see that he's wanted to paint for a really long time, I think. And it's great to see him painting. Because once you learn that viscosity, you can't unlearn it. It's like riding a bike, man. It really is. And you can have tough days and that aren't the best days painting, but you can't forget how to get that consistency, because it's like driving standard or any of those other things. It's, you just kind of get a feel for it, and then you just know when it's off. And that was huge. And then they started to see value and put things together, and it's great. But he's got so much. Like every artist who starts, you don't know what their potential is until they hit that wall. And he right now he hasn't hit that wall. Yes, battlebrickroad.com, guys, check it out. I always play that trailer before these streams because Eric's my dude, man. I haven't talked to him in forever. I think we may have sent some texts about a week ago, but I've been just so run down. I find the idea of mixing paint and colors very intimidating. Well, here's the best thing I would give advice for is but I've been feeling a growing lure towards painting. That's awesome, Nomad Damon, and I'm so glad to hear that. Because I was totally nerve-wracked about painting. I always thought I should teach a class called Terrified of Painting, because there was this class at the YMCA that I remember seeing when we were signing up. I think we might have been signing up the kids, or somebody else was signing up their kids for swimming lessons. I can't remember. And it was called Terrified of the Water. And I said, there was swimming 1, swimming 2, swimming 3, and then there was Terrified of the Water. The best titled class I've ever heard in my life, because if you are actually terrified of the water, you've had a bad swimming experience, you don't need swimming 1. You need someone to like get you over that psychological hurdle. And I always thought there should be a painting class that I taught called Terrified of Painting and Terrified of Color. But the big thing is to start with a limited palette. Like right now I'm working with black and white at the moment, but I'm working with blue, black, and white only, and then a black marker just to scribble and sketch. A lot of people don't know what you can do with acrylic paint now, and it just depends on knowing the right materials, and bringing out those silhouettes. I'm more comfortable using acrylic paint markers. Those are very cool too. But I'll say this: how do I put it? With a proper introduction to acrylic paint, I think you'd find yourself using those interchangeably, and then you might get to a point where you prefer paint. And remember, Brent, I'm saying this as a drawer. I was a drawer my whole life. I did not paint. I was not painting in high school. I was not even painting in college, except for homework assignments attempting to paint that were just, they weren't painting. They were assignments, which is important. It's an important part of it. Yeah. Or yeah, you would be terrified. People would be terrified of me in certain cases, but I'm a very direct teacher. I was thinking about doing an art school type thing with this YouTube channel. One of the many things I'm like, take a break, don't think about. And it's just tough to get the motivation up for it for after all those years of teaching, because it has been, yeah, it's a tough thing to give that much time. And yeah, I have some great students. Let me just say, I have some really great former students. But I've had some when it comes to colleagues, and when it came to the colleges I've taught at, um, to give that much of your life and your time to something, the lack of appreciation was almost, it just is almost, it was just crushing. I just went, what do I even do this for? And I know that's not the case, and I'll get to a better place with it. I did it. I don't know why I did it. I'm not writing the plan. It got me here, and I'm always happy. If I'm happy where I'm at, and then I always think, that's the way it was meant to go. But it really is, yeah, it really is something. You know, it really is something to teach. My grandpa started painting again late in life because he's bored. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you've also not seeing reactions of your students online. Yes, exactly. Exactly right. Yeah, their faces. It's true. Yeah. So I had this list of things that were like what my painting, thing would be, and it was really funny. And it was I basically was looking at yep, I'm happy you're happy where you're at. 100%, man. Yeah, I really can't complain, and I have a very simple bar for happiness. It's not a complicated thing, you know, for me to be enjoying myself. But it was um it was crazy because as I did it, I found myself citing a couple of different things, including some of Mr. Miyagi's rules for teaching Daniel. And they were just really funny. There were stuff I used to have in my syllabus, and when you have administrators and the administrative class gets so big in something, uh, they start over looking over everything and telling you can't say this, you can't do this. And I'm like, well, how the hell are they going to learn? And it was something like, um, I agree to teach you. You commit to rule one. I agree to teach you. Rule two, you commit to learning. And or you're the I forget what it was. It was something funny, and then it was oh god, it was really horrendous. It was over the top. I'll see if I can find it for you guys. Hang on a second, because this will show you how nuts it would be. Let's see. Oh wow, okay. Oh wait, here it is. Oh yeah, sorry. It was the Hard Knocks teaching method, which is what I called it. I offer to teach you. You commit to learning. I assign a task. You do it. I give I give feedback. You accept it as fact. No discussions. And there's a reason for this. Yeah, yeah, please, yeah. And we don't need to. The tuition is all for the administrators right now, man. It's crazy. I don't, but it sounds familiar. I don't, but it sounds familiar, Andy. And here's the reasoning for it: is that when you're with a teacher, I would be teaching students all the time, and people didn't understand that. Um, Students would say to me sometimes while I was teaching, them saying, "Well, my other teacher says do it this way," and I'm like, "Whose room are you in?" It's a very unusual thing to have had a group of teachers teaching you at the same time. And it's not that I was saying your other teacher has to be wrong, but when you're in here, if you don't trust that I know what I'm doing, and if you're like, maybe, then you're messing up the experiment we're doing with what I know is proven to make people know how to paint better. So I'd have students say, and it's the commitment is this: did you improve? Did you improve is the litmus test. Did you improve? Period. Full stop. Like I have to be able to say to Eric, and that's a very narrow test. It's not like a room full of 20, which I sometimes did. I was nuts. I would take in the average classroom size at college can be 15 or whatever. 20 is a very popular class. I was 20 with a wait list. And the class that I founded at Rhode Island School of Design is like struggling to find professors to teach it that students even want to have anything to do with, which maybe the teachers are sick of the students too. You never know. It's not the college it once was with regards to that. But I think it was struggling to have 8 students in it. Just horrendous, man. But the thing is that every student that I've had that I've worked with, I want them to be able to say, given if they put the time in, I know more than I did when I started. And in Eric's case, Eric had that great moment you have when you're learning and you're teaching class, um, where he's like, "Holy cow!" Like it's the I know kung fu moment. That's the best way I could describe it. Where Eric's like, "Holy crap, I can paint. I'm not thinking as much." In fact, the real challenge with students when you're working with them after a while is to get them out of their head and get them into the paint. Get them like physically where they're at. And like you can't ink, you can't paint, you can't stream for that matter. Like I don't like honest to God, this is the no word of a lie. And maybe people can see it, but I could never how do I put it? When I stream, it's not everything I am because I'm a dad, I'm a husband, I'm a member of my community and all that other stuff. Like, it's there's a real life outside of all of this, but This isn't fake. I don't know how people do that. I mean, I know there are people who do, but it's lost on me. And when I'm painting and when I'm teaching, it's as real as it gets. I don't know how to fake it. This is it. You know? Yeah, plugged into the matrix. Yeah, absolutely. How dare you? Can you set the bar higher? I suppose. What do you say? What the heck? My standard would be: did you start wearing deodorant? Oh my god, dude, you don't even know. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's amazing. It's amazing. Man, one of these I could tell so many funny art school stories, but I'm not gonna. But oh my goodness gracious, as a teacher, where you're just like, oh my lord, like, oh yeah. I mean, you just can't. I mean, you honestly cannot believe stuff. It's just you're like, someone sent you off to college. Holy cow! And it's only gotten worse. Like, my, I've met retired teachers who are just like, yeah, it kind of became untenable to teach, and I'm like, oh man, that's rough. Catalyst Vault, how are you doing? There's lots of laughter there. Um, yeah, it's an interesting thing. I'm literally shaking at Rolly Bolly Rocky. Yeah, no, there's rage. There's real rage out there in this world about deodorant needs. But it's a weird thing because I don't want like I want doctors who know what they're doing when I go to see a doctor, and that's what your teacher should be. Your teacher should give you a realistic breakdown of what your skill set is, and the more realistic you are, the less disappointed you're going to be, and the less frustrated you're going to be. And I was always very realistic about my ability. I always looked at artists and were like, these people are incredible. I don't care if you paint like Michelangelo, if you smell like Michelangelo from TMNT. Rocky is on a tear this morning. Rock, you're hilarious, dude. I love it though. If you want to know what it was like, this is us. This is what we were like. I've sometimes heard painting is more sculpting than drawing, which feels more like how my brain might work. How important do you feel drawing is to painting? It's massive. It's massive. But it's not. How do I put it? Painting is painting. It's not that. I put this. Painting is not drawing, but it's painting is not sculpture because I can't sculpt and I can paint. And Wow, that's a really good thought. Painting is not drawing though. And and most people try to paint like drawing and it's like why? Digital is not traditional. People try to make digital into traditional and I'm like why? Why do that to it? There's cool things digital can do that you can explore. Most people don't explore those things and I'm not going to share them. Not at the moment because I'm trying to be staying in this. But painting should, when you sit down to paint, the worst thing you could do is sit down to paint with drawing expectations. That's it. You know, I used to tell this joke when I was in college, and if I was still teaching, I'd probably be fired, and I'd continue telling this joke until I was fired. I used to say, most situations when it comes to career, when it comes to art, when it comes to everything, is like the person who just doesn't get it when it comes to the situation. They're like, well, listen, like they'll go up to this girl and they'll be like, I love you. You're like beautiful. I have made dinners for you. I've, written you poetry and songs and, I go to the gym. I work out. I have a stable career. What is it about me you don't like? And she looks them dead in the eye and she's like, I'm a lesbian. I'm gay. That's what it is. You don't have the right stuff I'm into. That's it. Pure and simple. Painting is like that. Painting is like, I've tried drawing with you this whole time. Why can't it be a good painting? And it's like, because I'm not a drawing, I'm a painting. That's what it is. It's that simple. It's not rocket science. Like, and some of the best advice you can get from editors when you were showing your portfolio around, where the people going, this stuff is good, but it's just not something we do. It's like, good, thank you for telling me that. But I again, that's another problem though, because you will meet people who are art directors and things like that who um don't want to be don't want to be the bad guy, so they'll give you some kind of hope. Hey, what's up, JWK Creates? It's good to see you, man. My tattoo shop uses mostly digital these days on tablets. I can imagine. Absolutely can imagine. I'm not surprised by the lack of cleanliness, mental health, and higher education today. Yeah. Um, yeah. 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 I can't say this right now. I really like if my phone's set up, I'm gonna text this to Rocky. Rocky, are you here? I'm gonna text you something that I can't share on stream because I don't want to open up a shitstorm or of anything because it relates to our alma mater. But anyway, sorry guys. I know this isn't entertaining streaming, but it will be in a second. God, I type slow with a paintbrush in my hand. There we go. And you can just not mentioning it, react in the chat, and tell me what you think about that. Yeah, you're not ready, dude. You're not ready. And that's the metric for the mental health on college, on that campus and college campuses in general, as we've tried to make things more healthy and better, quote unquote, safer, better. But frankly, doing everything that is defined as, you know, the strategies of poor mental health, avoidance, all of that stuff. You know, it's oh man, it's just rough. And yeah, I got that email forwarded to me, and I was like, "You have got to be kidding me!" There you go, Rock. Yeah, and not the only ones this year. Not the only ones this year, dude. Those are like recent ones, but the numbers everywhere are up. Everywhere. What is going on? It's the curriculum. The curriculum is about being hysterical all the time about politics. All the time about politics. And it pushes people to the edge. Students would take my art classes, everyone but me, because the administration was not fun. What's up, Siege Perilous? Good to see you, man. How you doing? Um, but this is the thing about it, right? Is that people would take my classes and they would they'd go, I feel better. This is so much better for my mental. Don't guess in the chat, but I'm sure you can guess. This is so good for my mental health. I go, yeah, because you're looking at what you're doing. We're not sitting around talking endlessly in class. You're actually just quietly working and meditate, being in what you're doing. And when you do things, you're productive. When you think things and perseverate on things, you're not only are you not productive, but it's bad for your mental health. Going for hikes, going for walks, doing what I'm doing right now. Um, the thing that great teachers do, which is why they should be how do I put it? I cannot stand politics, period, across the board. What politics is. I love civics. I love all of that stuff, and I actually know what, civics are. But, office politics, all politics, which is the gossip, bullshit, all that other stuff that goes on. And in academia, it's horrendous, man. It's everywhere. But the problem is it cultivates and it has cultivated an administrative mindset. So being good at your job is not the thing. Being good at your job is not the thing. It's all bureaucratic. And then suddenly it became almost puritanical. Like we've got the students and the administrators and your colleagues policing the morality of what you're doing. And no, I don't give up my free speech when I come here to teach. It's not like I'm going nuts in there. Like there's got to be a balance or no one wants to take your class. But if you have students who are indoctrinated, oh, I'm so glad to see you here, Siege. That's great, man. And if you've got students who are policing what you're saying, and like now with Discord and with internet and stuff like that, and it's like one person could wreck your career, and it's like, and I don't even care. But the problem is when you're a teacher and you've got a family depending on you, you're limited in what you can do. You're boxed in. Do I want to lose my job to respond to this bullshit? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, The Coddling of the American Mind. Yeah, I know that book, read that book. It's great. I believe that author described today college students. This was like in 2014 or 12. as human veal, and it's fairly accurate. But there's a quote that I was looking at, and this is really what teaching is by people who teach, not the art teachers you've had that were burnt out, you didn't learn anything from, or didn't have any skills themselves and said everything was conceptual. Like if you walk into an art class in most colleges today, it's talking, not working. The students are looking at a wall of artwork they may or may not have actually even done themselves, pinned up to the wall. No one knows how it was made. You know what I mean? How long it took them. And it looks like a class about being an art critic. And you're going to school to learn how to paint, not to be a critic. And that's a problem. So here's the other bare knuckle art school thing that I had as a quote there. And I love this quote. It's one of the best quotes I've ever seen. And it's the true quote. And if you've never experienced this, I'm sorry. But every student I have had had a chance at this. Here's the quote from a Japanese proverb. Excuse me, goodness. Better than 1,000 days of diligent, I'm sorry, better than 1,000 days of diligent study is one day with a great teacher. Absolutely true. If you have a great teacher, one day with them, I actually don't know. Shane Davis would probably know that, Mikey. I didn't go there, so I don't know. I know there were all these changes that all the grads who went there were talking about, but I'm not. Andy Smith would know. Rocky's saying he thinks it is. Yeah, I don't know if this is relevant. I think it is, but the word encourage means to inspire courage. Yes, yes, you're right. And real courage is what you experience, like when the teacher's not there, when you've got to paint, when you've got a deadline. What's up, Eric Huffles? How are you doing, brother and channel member? It's great to see you, man. And so, most teachers don't do demos. I had a teacher, my mentor, teaching, and mentor is overstating it a little bit. Okay, mentor, but in the end, not a very impressive person. Uh, really, I think it wouldn't even be too much to say. There was, yeah, I'm not going to get into it, but not a fan of this person in the end. However, um, he once proudly bragged to me that he had been teaching for 27 years and had never done a demo, never done a demonstration showing how to do something. And I'm like, you're proud of that? Like, never? That's one of the most important things an art teacher does, is show you physically how to do the thing. Unreal. And then he was shocked that when I started teaching with him, that the students that he had written off were actually learning stuff. Shocker. Maybe they needed a demo. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Insane. But guys, I mean, this is the cool thing I would say. So, as you guys know, I mean, it's like when I'm in my late 40s now, man. Coming into Comicsgate in your late 40s is a good way to do it, because and I would say even just in general. I mean, I'm not saying it's a rule that's going to work in every single case, depending on how mature you are and depending on what your experiences are. You got to get really comfortable with people being jealous over stuff that is just insane, really crazy stuff, man. And academia is very much like that. Academia is just a cesspool of jealousy, and what I would say is jealousy is a weird word of putting it. It's political. It's political. It's concern about status. And I'm like, I just don't give a shit about status. What I care about is the paint, man. Oh, that painting reminds me of Ted McKeever's. Shoot, I just jumped it. Sorry. Ted McKeever's Nosferatu. Beautiful workshop. Thank you so much, Snozhead. I am glad to hear that. Yeah, I'm a big Nosferatu fan in general. Yeah, you know what's funny is, yes, in terms of I'm sure with a healthy ego, but the best artists I know, if you watch them work, they're all in the artwork and not thinking about. They're thinking about the craft. Like, my love of art and my passion for art is such that I can never live up to what art has given me in my life. And I love art unconditionally. Love it unconditionally. Diesel! What is up, Diesel? It's great to see you. Boy, do I miss the sight and sound of my brother man shop. Hail, my brother. It's been ages. Yo! How are you doing, man? So glad to see you, dude. Oh, that puts a smile on my face, brother. Thank you, thank you. I am doing well. I hope you are well. Understood. Yeah. Absolutely. Busy working. Understood. Yep. Everybody's excited to see Diesel, man. Rocky's excited. Yeah, man. It's like this, right? Let's talk about paint for a second here. I'm gonna get into my Bob Ross mode, okay? Let's talk about paint a little bit here. So, here's the thing. I've been working right now with a tube. Let me see if I can find it here. With a tube of Malin white, and I've been working with a tube of black paint, and a little bit with a tube of manganese blue right here. Little manganese blue. Now let's watch what happens with a little bit of value. What's up, Emo? How are you doing? I want to show you guys what I love about paint. It's just, it never, ever is lost on me, man. Oh, you have an hour to drive to your next job. Excellent, Diesel. We'll keep you company, brother. We'll ride shotgun with you, brother. Happy to do it, Diesel. Happy to do it. And so this is what I love about paint. Take a little bit of the blue. I've been using almost exclusively, since I started the stream, just the black and white when I mixed up this palette. Just the black and white. Now I'm just going to come in here, see if I can get an angle where I can see it. I'm going to come in here and I'm just going to start to put that down. And just look at that with that little bit of paint, that little bit of value right in there. We start to change the dynamic of this painting. And I can put that in there, add in a little bit of black, and just start to fade it out as I go across. And all of a sudden, it starts to create the illusion of this kind of chest cavity in there of this monster. Like he's a hollowed out, or she's a hollowed out pumpkin, depending on. It is probably more appropriate at this juncture. And look at that. Look at how that works. You know, it's magic. Painting is magic. Thank you, Diesel. I appreciate it, brother. And it's that's right, 25 minutes, yeah. And that's the key. Looking a little blue, says Eric Huffles. And that's what I love to do when I'm doing these streams. And that's what I love to do when I'm painting. And I don't think I can ever thank painting for that, if that makes sense. I don't need painting to give me millions of dollars. I don't need it to do that. And as I've said to many people, if you get really good at painting, it will bring money. It definitely will. But it's got to be, again, it can't just be good to you. It's got to be good to other people. Painting, by the way, you can paint only because you enjoy doing it. Let me be clear. It's the best way to paint in some ways. To do, like, I play the violin that way. No one's going to ever pay to hear me play the violin. But I need to play the violin, so I do. But this is the kind of stuff that, look at that. It's almost like it's just a glowing inferno right there. And that is what is so fun. You know, it's just that, it's all possible. It's all possible, man. And it's so cool. And so in this story, what I'm working on and what I'm putting together, hey, painting, I need you to bring me $1 million. Don't listen to Stomp. Yeah. Yeah, that's another funny conversation I had recently. Yeah, when I stopped chasing the money and started chasing the skill and worked on getting myself out there and starting with Instagram, that's when my painting started to really become what it's become. And thank you for dropping the link to Springball, guys. Going back that book, guys. It's coming along great. It's going to be awesome. I can't overstate how cool that book is. And I know people are on board. Heavens, I'm not saying people aren't on board. But man, people are going to be like, I was there. I saw that. It's that good. I have a lot of book regret. And there's certainly certain collectibles and books that I've regretted not getting. And I really intend to make Springball one that people are like, man, if I had known. That's how I go about this stuff. So here I've got this, see if I can make that happen here. There we go. Here I've got this hollowed out log. And again, I just am doing this for now because this is, again, all of this stuff could have a acrylic wash. I just take water and acrylic once it's dry, get a perfect mixture down, which is the big rule of painting. And then I'm just going to do a wash over the thing if I want to, and I can make that orange. I can make that any color. but I want to ground everything with a cool blue. Maxfield Parrish used to do that, you know. Yeah, don't type while driving is very true. Absolutely right. Absolutely right. Um, what's this painting you were working on for? That's a really great question. So I am. My wife has told me I have to be on vacation ish a little bit, and since I paint for vacation, I mean it's so funny. Like that poor woman. Um, but I paint to relax. So she said, I just need you to take a break because you're running yourself into the ground. And the thing about it is that this right here is a story I've been doing for fun and playing around with. And then I just started getting some ideas for it. And I go, I want to do 8 paintings, a series of 8 paintings for, and make lobby cards out of them. So it's basically there's a story on the back for movie theaters. If you know what movie lobby cards are, they were in movie theaters in the 70s, 60s, 50s, all the way during that time. It was a big thing, and people collect them now on eBay. They sell for a lot of money. Where you get 8 paintings, just like with my art books, where you used to get 20 paintings, and they might be an add-on for campaigns. I haven't completely figured it out yet. Um, but they're things you could put up on your wall, and then on the back of them is the story that tells the story of what those 8 paintings are showing. And I just thought that would be a really fun way for me to do stuff on my downtime creatively. And so this story right here is just something I'm doing for fun. This is just, I know it sounds crazy to paint all day and draw all day and work on SPRINGBALL Nosfero all day and then take a break and want to paint. But this is, they're night and day different. There's so much more work, right? And so this is the story I started working on a little while ago. And this is, these are the various characters. And so yeah, this, and I've been doing some sketches on it. I just want to paint beautiful female figures too. Let's not let's not kid ourselves. What it's for is female figure is outstanding and I love it. You know. And my favorite of course being Mrs. Enjeti's. But I do love painting the female figure, and I'm always looking for an opportunity to do something that's mythic like Hammer Horror and then just sexy as hell. That's how it is, man. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Gooner. Yeah, indeed. Yeah, I mean, man, I tell you what, I could go on about that all day. Yeah. Ooh, that one. Yeah, you know this story. Yeah. So she's being rescued here by this hero without a head, which makes me laugh, man. You don't gotta convince me, Shanth. I'm in it for the boobs alone. Yeah. It's funny. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how it is. Yeah, I don't know how it is for different kinds of people, but I'm a red-blooded man and I love a painting of a sexy woman more than anything, man. I think it's great. It's the best subject matter of all time. Sorry to say. Um, and but I it's the weirdest thing about it, man. I want more than that too, though. You know what I mean? I want more than that. Frazette always felt like he was giving me more than that, even though he was giving that full tilt. You know what I mean? He was giving that full tilt, but and so did Richard. Richard Corbin gave quite a bit of that. He went even a little further than Frazetta did. Although Frazetta's private work was absolutely insane. Let's be clear about that. He definitely went a little crazy. For me, there's this sweet spot that Hammer Horror occupies. You know, and I was listening to this dude. I don't know if you guys know his YouTube channel. What is his name? I think it's James Hancock. Geeking It with James Hancock. He reviews movies and horror movies. He talks a lot about this stuff. He goes, I want to see some monsters. I want to see some action. He's more into gore than I am. I'm not really into seeing gore. It's not my thing. But he goes, and I want to see some sexy, beautiful nude women. That's what I want in my art. And I go, yep. Yeah, it did turn your head, Cranberry Landers. It was something. But he and I thought, yeah, that's kind of what Hammer Horror delivers. Like, I didn't know if people were gonna read Nosfero and go, what they'd make of the story, but I've kind of looked at it and I said, I want to have cool monsters. I want to give them their money's worth. Cool monsters, sexy babes, and I don't know. I just think nudity is more with the female form, and which is what I what I do. Um, I don't know. It just has more gravitas when it's in paint than when it's drawn for some reason to me. I don't know what that is. And remember, I started as a drawer, and I was never really thinking about painting. But there's just something about the classical sort of female figure in the female form that I'm after, and it's tough to find. Like it gets tough to find art models when you're looking for reference. And there's this great great website that sells called Pose Space that sells 360-degree turnarounds of their figure models in various poses. So you get a pose and you get it from every angle or almost every angle. And man, is that useful as an artist. You can do life drawing based off of that stuff so much easier. And they have so many different kinds of models from all backgrounds, even all ages. It's kind of great. They have like older people, everybody's of course an adult, but they have like people who are old, and you can see how the skin works, and people who have different like body types and stuff like that. But they do have attractive, athletic women. They have women who have more meat on them. They have women who are more athletic. And you can find, what's up, Grey Wolf? It's great to see you, man. Yes, indeed. And black, my man, Art T-Bears, black and white. Talk about a master of the craft. An unbelievable inker. And when I say that, I don't mean inker in terms of other people's pencils, which he certainly was. But he's an artist with ink. And it's so great to see, man. So much love to Art T-Bear. I play his trailer. His link is in the description. But yes, indeed. Thank you for posting that link, Eric Huffles. I appreciate it. So yeah, so when I sat down to do Nosfero, I remember just really admiring the freedom. People aren't ever going to give you freedom as an artist. You got to kind of take it. And I do. I'm like, nah, no one's going to tell me what I can and can't paint. And I had more restrictions in terms of how to think about artwork when I went off to college. Oh, I do remember Pearl. Yeah, that was something else, wasn't it? She'd fall asleep during model sessions. For those of you guys who don't know, we had a nude model at RISD for a while named Pearl, and she was in her 70s or 80s. She finally passed away, not while modeling, I hope. And yeah, it was an experience, man. It was an experience. But this is what Nosfero is about for me. This is what I love about doing this work, is I get to paint beautiful, sexy women, heroes who are heroes, all of that kind of stuff. And it's hell yeah, man. That's the stuff I'm about. Like, it's got to the point to where, like, I gotta tell you guys, man, we have a very weird, and I'm not judging. Yeah, she looked like she was in her hundreds then. I agreed. We have a really weird relationship with nudity versus violence that I can't square. My man, past Master Dan, it is good to see you, brother. Hit the like. I will never understand it, ever, ever. I don't know if it was Walking Dead or what it was. Maybe some of you guys will know the episode I'm talking about. I was in a barber shop getting a haircut. And there was a guy in there with his son who was waiting to get a haircut. And it was, the afternoon. And they were doing a Walking Dead marathon. And in the freaking afternoon, there was a severed head on an autopsy table tray. Just a freaking decapitated head. And I just think, heaven forbid we see boobs in the afternoon. Like, what is the deal with that? Sorry, like, I just don't get it. I would much rather see less gore and more breasts on TV, man. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. And again, if you can't pull it off, you're not going to be able to pull it off. It's not like it's an easy whatever, but man, what on earth? Like, Clash of the Titans is a really good example. The lead actress in Ray Harryhausen's Clash of the Titans, which I believe was G, if I'm not mistaken, gets out of a bathtub nude in a scene in that. There's nothing weird about that. Like, we show like the ugliest people naked these days, man. Seriously, put your clothes on. Admit defeat. Okay? Seriously, man. I don't have to have someone sit me down and explain to me why I need to keep my shirt on. God, this just drives me nuts, man. I could go on and on about this stuff. It's like, I ain't Chris Hemsworth, kids. Sorry to burst your illusion there. But I see that stuff and I'm like, there are some people who have that ability to basically embody in physical form that classical aesthetic of beauty. And it's not silicon. It's not, that stuff never works the same. And it's a very fleeting time period. And that's something that should be celebrated because it's about, beauty and fertility and youth and power and strength and all that kind of stuff. That's what I want to draw and paint, and it drives me nuts, man. You know what I mean? It just drives me nuts that's like, I'm like, why do I have to see this? Nah, Shelf is just back in the closet. Yeah, I am. I'm in the closet. Sorry. It happens. Yeah, Alan Moore has an interview where he said he got more crap for his childbirth panels in a comic and Lost Girls. Yeah, I'm surprised when they're boobs in movies these days. Yeah, it's really strange, man. Really strange. I mean, but what I'm talking about is, um, I've seen stuff in PG-13 movies. PG-13, guys. Look at how much violence people show in PG-13 movies. I mean, there was nudity in what's that movie called? Shoot. And really weird when you think about it. I think there was nudity in 16 Candles. Molly Ringwald Brat Pack movie, 80s movie. I think it was 16 Candles. Or no, was it yeah, it was 16 Candles, I think. Not it wasn't Pretty in Pink, I don't think. And I was like, what? I didn't even remember that, man. Yeah, the man, past Master Dan. My brother, he's here. Lots of love for you in the chat, man, as you know. And you just go, when did we become this society where everything had to just be gross and ugly where that's concerned? It's almost like a weird puritanism I have yet to understand or figured out. But it's just like, man, when I'm doing Nosfero, this is an independent comic. When you back Nosfero, when you back the stuff I do, you're backing creative freedom. You're backing creative liberty. And the same thing goes with Pigman, by the way, which is art height of perfect timing. Um, the same thing goes with true with Pigman, which is Art Haida's profile pic there, which is almost to 20K. Go and back that book if you want a book that is all about freedom of expression and also just really cool. Frank Miller, Alex Toth inspired, action, hero with a gritty, dark, almost Punisher in his ethos character. It is just totally balls to the wall. So check that out. It's almost to 20K. So yeah, when I draw and paint comics, when I paint Nosfero, man, thank you so much, man. I appreciate it, man. Eric Huffles, thanks for dropping that in the chat. What's up, Tiny Effort? How are you doing, my brother? It is great to see you. Rich, your oldest Spring Ball fan, man. It's a pleasure to see you in the chat, man. A pleasure to see you in the chat. Let me see. Yeah, Wolfman's got nards. He sure does. Yeah, it's cultural. Some countries have nudity on billboards, but censored gore in R-rated movies. Yeah, I mean, um, here's the funniest thing about this stuff. Back spring boobs, says Rocky. Yeah, back spring ball. I struggle with it, so I get why there are limitations. Personally, I have a thorn there. Yeah. Here's the thing that's wild about it, right? And I used to say this to my art school students when students would go, you got to be careful about and I mean, I wasn't even like, it was so funny towards the tail end of teaching. I was like, wow, you really can't show anything safely. Like, it was just getting miserable to teach. But I had students, just so I can just clarify this a little bit, I had students who were like, would come into my classroom and they'd be like, did you see that new Catwoman cover or whatever, or Wonder Woman cover and how exploitive and demeaning it is and all this other stuff? And I was like, hey, what's up, Christopher Bouchard? It's good to see you, man. Um, and I go, you read Berserk. You read the manga Berserk, right? What is going on in your brain? You know? Like, what is going on that you have some kind of cognitive disconnect when you're reading that book? This is a female student, by the way, who's likes Berserk. I'm like, that book, Wonder Woman in its wildest dreams does not come near that. Yeah. Yeah, we got to talk about that too. Like, there's a lot of things, like, this is why we need people who are teachers and professors and academics, who are not a part of what academia has been warped into, to teach online. Jordan Peterson does his bit for King and Country, but objectivism, the idea of how objectifying is used to women, is basically a socialist misstatement of what object theory is. It's total malarkey. People shouldn't use the term. Nobody's objectifying. I mean, like, that is, or like in the sense of what they mean it as. It's become this, what are you talking about? It's crazy. Like, how do I put it? surgeons have to kind of look at things somewhat rationally and disconnected, although it's always going to be a struggle when they're doing brain surgery on somebody, right? But I used to say to my students, I go, when I met my wife in college, she is one of the smartest women I've ever met. Really talented, really skilled, super conscientious, all these incredible things about her, but that's not what interested me in her initially. I was like, she's hot. That's that. If that wasn't working, all those other things could be true, man. Yeah. And it's really weird. It's the opposite of hating. It 100% is. Again, I've said this on a few streams, and I always cracks me up. It was my favorite story because I was my simple you know story I came up with to just completely destroy the case against misogyny as it's represented, and which is really weird, man. And I said, if you came over to my house, met my family and everything like that, and then you looked around my house and all you saw were posters of naked and half naked men, would you say, wow, this guy clearly hates men? No. You would probably think the opposite. That would be logical. So the idea that guys who are obsessed with women hate women is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my entire life. It is really stupid. It's catastrophically stupid. And yes, Mikey, that might be a thought you had, right? You might look at Mrs. Enjetti and go, how does she not see this? Huh. Right? Isn't that the dumbest thing you've ever heard in your entire life? Wow, look at that guy. He's got all those sports cars. He freaking hates sports cars. No. Yes, Rocky can attest that Shanth has tons of paintings of naked men in his house. It's true. Oh, I have the best. I'm gonna text this to you because if I put she murder me dead. It'll just make you laugh. I love it, man. There you go. Merry Christmas, man. Yeah, yeah. That's the thing, man. Don't care. Don't like. Just trying to explain this to somebody. Here's another double standard. If you're an art school student, right, and you want to paint pictures of sexy nude women or sexy nude men, as long as you're gay, that's acceptable. If I was gay, you'd know it. Period. Fucking what? It's insane. Like my brain does not work that way. Like I can't imagine. Um. Yeah, I can't even. I can't imagine having like a different perspective in that particular regard, and it not impacting what I do. It would have to impact what I do. I mean, I look at artists like J.C. Linedecker, Norman Rockwell. They all did amazing stuff, but it's that. But it's not like it has anything to do with your technical ability. But when I paint women, I love women. Period. Like it's just one of those things. I just got a message. Her ears must have been burning. I just got a message from the missus telling me to remind her to do something when she gets home. So yeah, you guys in the chat, if she gets home, uh, let me know. Remind me I was supposed to remind her. Um, yeah, and that's the other thing too, man. I'll tell you something that's weird. I'll tell you something that you can't talk about at college because it's a taboo. You ready? You ready? What's up, David and Games? It's good to see you. Good afternoon, everyone. And Sean, here's a taboo. Um, I have wanted to be married since I was 5 years old. I've wanted to have a family since I was 5, and I only want to be in a relationship with one woman. I believe in true love. I believe in your soulmate. That's a part of the artwork that I make. You know, I'm a guy, and I'm as guy as they come, but I absolutely was looking for the one, and she's the one. And that's the shit I write about. That's it. It's the weirdest thing in the world, man. Yeah, hey, Mrs. J, don't forget to do that thing. That's what it really is, man. If Shanth was gay, we've already seen him paint so many Lovecraftian dogs. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and and it's such a funny thing to me because I just want the rights that the other artists at art school have. That's it. Just the rights. I think it's incredibly hypocritical to punish straight male artists, which is what we've been doing, and straight men in general in a society. It's weird. Now, I'm not like, oh gosh, we're victims. None of that stuff. I'm like, why are we listening? Why are we listening to this crap? It's ridiculous. By the way, it makes women miserable. You know what the saddest thing on earth is? I'll tell you the saddest thing on earth. And I'm not saying pity it, it's been created. So, if you want things to change, you got to do something about it. I don't believe in victims over the age of what do you call it? Victims of other authority figures telling you what to do over a certain age. You got to suck it up and make it happen. One of the saddest things you could ever see or see going on right now on college campuses is the plight of straight, which is the majority, women who are now what an 80 to 60% majority of college campuses. Like they're miserable because they want actual men, and there are less and less actual men on college campuses. Sorry to say. So even the tiny percentage of men that are there may be interested in other men, and more importantly, are not the kind of men that are really exciting to be around. And that's the truth, man. It's rough. Yeah, we do. Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, no questions there for me. I mean, there's tons of questions there for me in terms of theologically, but yeah. A man called plush in the house, that conflicting moment when you think Lovecraftian dong, then recall H.R. Geiger's work. Wait a minute. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Geiger, I don't know if any of you guys have ever heard Geiger's speaking voice, but I even know what his whole thing was. I mean, it's not the defining, like, okay, the defining aspect of my work, even though it's going to have all of the stuff we were just discussing in it, is my core ethos of give nihilism no quarter. I'm a romantic. I'm not an optimist. There's a different way of putting that. I mean, I have faith. I believe in inspirational storytelling. I don't think we benefit from nihilism and nihilistic storytelling and postmodernism. That's my number one thing. And so that goes through everything. So when I'm illustrating or painting the figure, I try to do things in a stance to where I'm like, this character is sexy, but this character is also um, not so what I'm looking for. How do I put it? I've put actual thought into this character, their relationship, and what's happening, and they are there to be visually appealing to men, but they're not there. Um, yeah, they're. I'm trying to give an experience to guys that like women. That's it. It's real simple. It's hard to describe, man. It's really hard to describe because you try to teach this to people. You try to teach this to guys, like what is being a guy, what's being a man, and what do women find attractive, and it's not like being a blowhard. It's not any of that stuff. And what do guys find attractive? There's so many women that I found attractive that were just beautiful. That's the starting point. They were just beautiful. And there's women who are sexy, and there's women who and sexually attractive, and there's women who are sleazy. And I don't want to paint the latter per se, unless they're being portrayed as that. It's weird. Um, Most of those women would never date down, to men with no degrees who sweat for a living. Let them stay single. That's really what it is. I tell guys like get out. Sadly, it's get out of school, get out of college. I did. I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm so much freer now. It's not even funny, man. A lot of men are too scared to make the move these days. Yeah, of course they do. Yeah, they can't because the reality is that they've been portrayed as they can lose everything. They can lose everything. Like if a guy at a college is accused of stalking or doing whatever, and we've seen this happen where a girl stalked a guy and then accused him of stalking her, and he had to sue the college, won millions of dollars. Um, it's weird how we have criminalized dating. It's nuts. It really is, and it's everybody's miserable as a result. People are going to have to deal with a certain amount of imperfection, and they're going to have to learn how to deal with the fact that if somebody flirts with you and you don't like them, and it's like, and you're not interested in them, that's fine, but it's not a crime You know, and if someone is an absolute nuisance and they're becoming a problem at work, then that's something that somebody should talk to them about. But the idea of being in permanent litigation mode is terrible. And by the way, it's something that affects working and teaching relationships, right? So one of the last things that one of my colleagues had just bandied about, why I don't know, because she's not even an artist, she's a writer, but one of the things she was bandying about that was really horrifying is she goes, there's a new book out on the innate power dynamic between the critiquer and the critiquee. And I just went, it is not, why do these people have to make everything an act of violence? Again, weirdly, we're more comfortable with violence in our entertainment and gore than we are with nudity and sexuality. Shocker. It's because we sort of see those things. Weirdly, we see um, there's this really weird and messed up association with violence and yeah, the other thing, and that's not really great. It's not great, man. In terms of just viewing all of it as a violent act, like it's a core tenet of feminism that all of a particular type of act is an act of violence inherently, and it can't be separated from that. And that's the most disturbing thing I think you could ever teach a human being. It's really bizarre to rip that away from nature and to make that like gross. I'm like, God, so you think that all children are a result of like a crime? It's horrific. No, it wasn't. It wasn't. But that's funny. That made me laugh, man. Yeah. And it's really yeah, it's even simpler than that. It's like get politics um out of the interplay of the sexes. It's that simple. Get politics out of the interplay of the sexes. Stop making everything political. Stop making everything about a power dynamic. Stop making everything about that stuff. There are going to be people who are not nice people in the world. There's going to be some evil people in the world, to be honest. But most people are actually not operating in that level. We'd live in a very different world if everybody was naturally like that. And unfortunately, um, yeah, we've got to make some new, or we've got to remove some rules that are just ridiculous. You know, just completely ridiculous. What can be said and what can be done. It's like really strange, man. And no guy is going to want to work in an environment, and I count myself as one, that is hates men and on its face says it hates men with any skill. No guy is going to want to work in that environment, you know? Yeah. Yeah, it's weird, you know? Yeah, man created feminism, not many women. Yeah, not known to many women. Yeah, I talked about that on stream. It was a utopian socialist in the 1800s who invented the term feminism, which was purely a socialist thing, and it played out exactly like one. And he was a vicious anti-Semite, and like all socialists and all authoritarians, and not a person we should be looking to for ideals. And it's no surprise that it was used against women for the last ever many decades. But again, um, I don't I don't believe that it's healthy to treat people like children. People need to look around at the results. I think this current generation coming up, Generation A, is a complete course correction. They're so much more what's the word I'm looking for? They look less sickly in terms of how they're behaving. They actually act like young people. Young people should not think about politics. If you are under the age of 18 and you are obsessing about politics and what Congress is doing, holy cow, stop. Be young. Frankly, if you're obsessing about all that stuff all day anyway, check in every now and again. But yeah, don't be cravenly obsessed with that. You're not going to be somebody anyone wants to be around. But holy cow, man. You know what, like, good God, like I feel like I'm that Monty Python skit in The Meaning of Life, man. But it's like, whatever happened to freaking hand holding, man? Hand holding. The first time you held hands with a girl you liked. That's awesome. That's like missing, man. Drives me nuts. But it's like when I was going to college, I gave Mrs. Enjetti, when we had been dating for a little while, I gave her something. I bet very few people in the chat know. It's why I'm such a catch. I gave her a promise ring. How many of you guys know what a promise ring is? It's one of those things. Hey, what's up? Katie Did knows what one is. Katie Did will be first off the block. She's a Southern girl. She knows. I'll bet you dollars to donuts she knows, man. No doubt in my mind. I gave her a promise ring. You know? Of course, yeah, I do. Katie knows. You know what I mean? That was a big deal, man. Like, because to me, I was like, we're going to, like, do things a certain way. Hand holding? That sort of damned pervert are you? Exactly. Ew, a promise ring. I know. Trashy. She still has that thing, man. I had a promise ring in high school. There you go. Yeah. So imagine this. What's up, Skeleton Core Comics? How you doing, channel member? Great. Glad you're listening while you work. Hope you're having a great day at work, man. Katie, everybody's saying hello, hello. That's right. Sean promised he would stop peeking in her window. I think it was a bit the reverse in some instances, man. But this is the crazy thing about it, right? Is that yeah, oh my lord. Nobody around me was doing that. Nobody. Nobody was doing that. Her friends were like, "What's that?" She goes, "It's a promise ring." They go, "What's a promise ring?" I'm in Rhode Island. I'm in New England. I'm from Chattanooga, right? Uh, and uh, and she's like, "It's an engaged to be engaged ring," was the way she simplified it to people. But yeah, you know. And how many guys do that kind of thing? And how many people would roll their eyes at that kind of thing? Well, it's going to be 25 years of marriage coming up soon, so, you know. But I was looking for a girl who was the right girl. I was looking for that soulmate thing, man. Big believer in that at any age. I actually I met somebody recently, not long ago. How do I word this? Because I don't want to, like, you know, whatever. I mean, you know, no one's going to know. You're not going to know who she is. But incredible woman, worked in law enforcement, gave her life to law enforcement. Um, Obviously never thought she was going to be a mom. She was older than us. Is older than us. And worked in one of the most noble professions you could do, which is the protection of children and the rescuing of children. Amazing woman. I couldn't do that kind of work, man. Couldn't do that kind of work. I think it just ripped me to pieces, man. And she found a kid that needed her and adopted him. And through the process of, she's like, I don't know anything about being a mom. I never thought I'd be doing this work, but I'm doing this work now. Like, what is Little League and how do I do all this stuff? Incredible stuff. Through the process of this kid, um, you know, working with this kid, met a guy and got married. It's the weirdest thing how that stuff works, how life works. I'm a romantic. I believe in that kind of thing, man. You got a promise, cat. At Emo Trash. There you have it. Yeah. It's but it really, yeah, man, it's like that's the stuff I see that is always really beautiful, and I love those kinds of stories, man. So I believe in that kind of thing, man. I believe in that. You know, and it's a big factor in my work and what I do, and I want people to be happy, and I can't control that. People got to handle their own stuff. I don't want to be responsible for anybody's happiness. Let me state that very clearly. But it's outside of Mrs. Enjetti, but my attitude is I want work that says it's a great thing to tell your wife as often as you can and mean it down to your toes. You look beautiful today. Those are the things that are so freaking important. You know, and for your wife to say, "Hey, you look handsome today," and wonder what is she even seeing. Um, and I think that stuff has to be modeled in our art, and it's not modeled in our artwork, and that's a problem. It's a problem, man. And so, even I was listening to Peter Cushing, who you guys may know from Hammer Horror. You may actually probably know him from Star Wars as Governor Tarkin. And Peter Cushing was talking about what he loved about the Hammer Horror movies. And he said, good always triumphed over evil. They were positive stories for all of the, you know, red blood of Hammer Horror and the you know, nudity of the toplessness. Sort of, I mean, some practically innocence beyond belief by today's standards of the Hammer Horror movies. good always triumphed over evil, and the heroes had principles. And I'm like, that's it. That's what we're missing. Yeah, people need models, man. Yeah, Tim Ballard talked about how type of work tears you apart. Yeah, mad respect. Yeah, oh yeah. People who do that they're special. That's a special breed of cat, man. Can't do it. She was in our living room. The kids were not there. She was talking about a job that she had just done where she had to go overseas as a part of her law enforcement work to rescue some kids. And I was like, couldn't do that. Could not do that. Like, and the moral conundrums she's found herself. I was like, I feel like I'm gonna throw up. Like, that's not. I was really admired her. I was like, wow, man, you're the real deal. But I also just thought I'd be dead inside. Like, I don't know how people do that, but someone's got to do it, man. Someone's got to do that kind of work. There's people doing that work right now, man. Yeah, thank you, Cranberry Landers, and back at you, and back at you again. But it's beautiful people are something that you have to kind of come to terms with, and you have to come to terms with beautiful people without envy, and just go, that's great. It's people always talk about that kind of stuff. Yeah, she is. Seriously, like we met her and we were like, I want her to have happiness, and she did, which is great. Puts a huge smile on my face, man. What's up, Darth Gutierrez? How are you doing, brother? Things are going well, my friend, and I hope you are doing well. Hail to you. And I believe in that, man. Yeah, people talk about that too, and one of the things that's interesting is they said the leading cause of a bad relationship um is having contempt for one another, and I think that's terrible. And I think that stuff is extended into the politicized art world, which I have no interest in whatsoever. And I mean, like, I can't even get into it. Like, there's always a little office politics bullshit. I hate that everywhere, but real politicized stuff is um it's the breakdown of relationships between teachers and students, and it's the breakdown of relationships between artists and fans, creators and fans. We're not the same thing. We're not, and that's all right. Shocker. And I sometimes see people getting into that road, and it's a miserable road. I mean, look at what they did to George Lucas, for God's sake. Are we better off now? I never was on that train, by the way. And yeah, there's gonna be a lot of people who we look back on and go, wow, you were really responsible for the direction culture took by just tearing, this dude to pieces. I mean, no one's gonna stand up to that after a while. Nobody, you know? And it's a very strange thing because um yeah, there's this, I don't believe in that sowing of contempt. You know what I mean? And I don't I it's like an actual relationship, man. It's like, I don't mean like it's not an actual personal relationship. Don't show up at anybody's house or anything. What I mean to say is that I'm making the best work I can for you. That's what I'm trying to do. And I'm not secretly somewhere going, oh, I'm selling them shit. You know what I mean? And I don't know what I'm doing. I put a lot of time into this sort of stuff. And I assume when you guys back my books that you're like, I want to see this. Like, I want to see what you do with this. I'm investing in this, man. That's the cool thing. Like, I love Todd McFarlane. Love Todd McFarlane stuff. Ride or die with that dude. I don't give a anything, right? Ride or die with that dude. He brought so much joy to me as a young kid. All that stuff. I can tell you honestly, I don't think I've ever heard him talk about who he's voting for. I'm sure he hasn't, in fact. He's just from a different generation, man. He seldom talks politics, if ever. If ever. Think about that. And he's been one of the most successful people in our business. How much did Stan Lee talk about politics? Not a lot, you know? And we talk about this stuff all the time. There's so many myths that are crazy, you know? I was thinking about, yes, because he's Canadian. It's true, but he was born in California, you know? He was born in California just like Bruce Lee was, man. Yeah, Todd's Canadian. Yeah, well, he's Arizona citizen now, man. But it's like Todd doesn't go out there. Like, he took a family into his home at one point, and I don't know what was going on with it, but they were looking for families, I guess, in his community to take. families who were displaced into their homes, and I don't know what the story was. Not turn this into a political thing because I don't give a shit. And him and Wanda did, and I'm like, all right, and it's like, what do you do for people? How do you treat your fans, man? Yeah, Todd, that is the key. Todd voted for himself. I believe that. I believe Todd writes himself in. That's the candidate. But I don't want to know his damn politics. You know what I mean? I don't. Not interested. It doesn't interest me at all. I love painting trees, by the way. Non sequitur. I love painting trees. It is so fun. Bob Ross was right. Bob Ross was right about everything. Don't know what his politics were either. Cranberry Langers, yes. Oh, thank you so much. Just sent $5 and says just a tip. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it, brother. Peter Cushing as Doctor Who, yes, indeed. We should talk about that at some point too. What an amazing guy. So here's some cheerleaders for you. Let's make it happen.
Charge! Charge!
Thank you, Cranberry Langers. Much appreciated, my friend. Much appreciated. So a couple of housekeeping notes. Springball is moving along great, guys. Thank you for continuing to back. The link for that is in the description. It is Evil Dead meets Spider-Man. It's an awesome comic. If you love the kind of stuff that I do and the kind of bare knuckle optimism, bare knuckle, I don't know what you'd call it, positivity that I try to do in my work. Go check it out. You're going to love it. And Nosfero, the Second Chance campaign, is going to be wrapping up soon. And that book is like a spiritual, artistic shot in the arm. It's Lovecraft meets Hammer horror movies, meets Solomon Kane, beautifully illustrated, painted. If you like the stuff you see me doing here, and actually, what am I saying? I've got the book right here. If you see this and say, I'd like to see a book that's illustrated like this, not just on the cover, but all the way through, by God, back the thing, man. It's awesome. It's an awesome book, and it's not going to be a waste of money. And yes, indeed, cheers and thank you, Cranberry Landers, for that, man. I appreciate it. But but I look at Bob Ross. I used to look at people like that, and I'd say, Bob Ross, man, he did it right. But he had stuff going on in his life. He had difficulties. He lost his wife, and he still did his show for a while after that, man. The guy was good people. The guy was really good people, and I think he definitely earned his time on this planet. That's for sure. Don't forget to drink your water. But yeah, happy little trees, man. He got it done, and he actually inspired Mrs. Enjetti to become an artist. I remember when she told me that, I was like, "You're a cool girl. I like that," because there was no pretentiousness to it. It's like she's just like, "Yeah, this is it. I don't care. Love that dude. That's how I am with stuff. I don't care. I love it." So yeah, Peter Cushing was talking about Hammer horror movies in that very romantic way, and he also said something beautiful. Peter Cushing lost his the love of his life, his wife. He was devastated. He said it took way before he passed on. He said it took him 13 years to recover from losing his wife, which is what a he's such a dude, man. Fucking love Peter Cushing, man. Such a dude. And but Peter Cushing was being interviewed, and it said they said, well, you lost your wife about you know uh 2 decades, or I forget, it was 15 years ago, and he goes, oh, I didn't lose her. Oh boy, I didn't lose her. She's just elsewhere. Love that, man. Love that from Peter Cushing. I didn't lose her. She's just elsewhere. And what a guy, man. What a guy. Love that dude. And it's craziness. I like when Todd found the toy companies not letting him put oh yeah, realistic guns. He started selling munitions packs. Yeah, absolutely, man. He needs to do a Cobra action figure. There is a Cobra action figure, a high end custom stuff, but yeah, there are no mistakes, just happy little accidents. Yeah. And Bob was yeah, man. It's like Bob was just one of those guys, and he's actually starting to have now art shows of his paintings for the first time, which is really funny because all of the people who hate him can fill up their gallery spaces by showing Bob. Look at what the paint does, guys. Do you see that? That kind of ghostly tree emerging out of the background there, man. That's what I love about this stuff. That's what I love about painting. Dang, man. So cool. I mean, just love it. And then I can just take this paint, take that black paint, and then just go. Oh man, that's another bit of canned advice I hate that painting teachers give. Don't use black paint. My response: which one of us paints better? You go down right there. Go down that edge. Just like lightly blend it out. The canvas is going to drink the paint up. So it's going to help your fade there. You see what I mean? Look at that. It just starts to do that thing where the tree starts to come out, man. Oh, thank you, Katie. I appreciate that. Hail. Yeah, that's the thing about painting that I was so afraid of painting, terrified even of painting, and that fear was keeping me from what is, again, one of the most rewarding experiences of my life, which is the fact that, realizing that I'm actually just a painter. And I like to draw too, but I always want to get to painting. So, I mean, I sketch and paint now. Even when I draw, my stuff is so much more noodly. Like you can see where I use a permanent marker and it's so scribbly and it's so fun. Like I'll show you something cool in a second, although it might, well, we'll see. We'll see if it works. But just like little things like that you can do with paint. Where I've got, okay, I'll flip this upside down so I can show you this bit right here. But I've got this figure, and you see all the reflecting marker right there and all that stuff. Like that figure is going to be there, but I want to just knock some of that sheen off and marry him into the background. And by the way, yes, she is going to have clothes on. She's going to be wearing a diaphanous nightgown, though, so it'll be see-through a bit, which is my love of those in Hammer Horror. Really funny. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's like, oh my God. Yeah. Ladies, if you ever want to, I don't know if I'm going to say that. Leave that in the air. Oh, shit. Sorry, I just cracked myself up. Uh, there we go. So just do a little bit of a blue wash over that, just to marry it into the ground, and then the painting starts to happen, man. Channel, you see Dolly Parton's interview on Fox News from yesterday. Dolly Parton is another national treasure. Ride or die, man. That's how you got to do it. That's how you got to do it. There we go. Pigman, guys. Pigman by Bosch, Faust, and 9/11 changed the lives of Islamic brothers. They're twin brothers. There's so many great metaphors and interesting things in there. And we're almost to 20K. Eric, where are we on that campaign? Are we still stuck on 19, or are we getting to 20? I gotta have Bosch on. I gotta just like I'm trying to. I was telling you guys at the start of the stream. My wife is making me do some time off stuff. Like she's like going, just you can paint, you can do what you got to do, but just don't be running yourself into the ground like you have been. And I'm like, all right, all right, all right, all right, because it's just like you got to recharge. So here's the fun part, right? Is it now that that's got a little bit of a ground on it, and it's like the water, it's still wet because of the water I used to do the wash as opposed to doing something opaque. I can start dropping in these heavy body acrylic paints and just start to kind of like let the form kind of emerge out of it. And I can change this as many times as I like. But much like, working in digital or anything else, once you get some kind of mastery of the materials, you're able to really do some interesting stuff with the figure. Let me see if I can get an angle on this so you can see the blue, because it's making it a little bit too contrasty. But you can just see how the figure starts to come together, and that's the stuff that just, for me, about painting, that's what makes it so fun and really reward. Like if I work on in digital for too long, and it's got nothing against digital, but my whole life is so streaming and all this stuff. I really think that you guys sometimes need a little bit of a break, from looking at screens. And if I can show you a screen that's got this work and show you how I paint, which is just paint in my lap, A little less than $100 to 20K. Oh, we're so close. No, my God, $19,906. Has anyone not backed it yet? Man, there's some tears to get us there. Just talk about fruit, Sean. Happy to talk about fruit, man. Happy to talk about it. Yeah, oh, so close, man. All right, honey. Turns on stream. Oh, it's bad, man. Yeah, it's bad. She's like, you got to take a break. She's at work. What's she gonna do? But yeah, she looked at me the other day and she's like, babe, you're gray. Like, you're not getting any sleep. You're not eating. You're just staring and running yourself into the ground, man. Oh, Bosch might be doing it. Yes, yeah, he mentioned that to me, man. Yep. It's not officially announced, but I hope it comes through. Thank you, Past Master Dan, for sharing the link to Springball. She's like, you really have got to take a break. Because, like, even when I do a stream like this, and I'm just like, we're just going to do a relaxing sort of stream. I still want to get all the channel member credits done, and so I got to open up Photoshop, do that, then bring that into iMovie, and then make that thing because I just want to make it something that looks nice. I do think that I was watching the Joe Rogan interview with AJ and from the Y Files, and I really do think that when you get to a certain point as a YouTuber, if you have the money, and I certainly don't, you've got to get a producer if you're serious about doing it because it's too much. The tooth hurts worse. Yeah, indeed. But you got to get a producer because you're just going to run yourself in the ground. Hey, Shanth, have you reposted that high-res Fund My Comic logo? I think I did. I don't know if I did recently. Trying to work on something this weekend to help promote Bosch and others. If I haven't, I'm going to try to do that after this stream. Remind me. Remind me. Yeah, leave a comment when the stream is over. That's even better. Hail Hecklefish, says David D. Yeah. Saw them talking like you've got to have somebody. You got to have people you trust. Like Joe Rogan has Jamie. You've got to have that person there. Somebody you trust. Somebody who works their tail off because it's so much to do. Like when I do one thing, I have to take a break from other things, and that's what Mrs. Enjetti goes. She goes, when you take a break from one thing, what you really mean is you go and you're going to work on the other thing, but that's not taking a break. It's bad. It's bad, but I'm working on it. And I've gotten some cool stuff to kind of help me relax a little bit this week too. Yeah, I am Jamie. Yeah, I am. Yeah. I'm John's Jamie, man. When I'm on John's stream, I'm always happy to do that for him because it's a lot, man. And I gotta crack my back. Can't do it. Oh, there you go. That's better. But yeah, like I just hell, man. It's like when you run things in Ecamm, which I do right now. There's so much you can do that you can't do on StreamYard. It's like actually, I'll pin the camera up here so we can look at this. I'll put the painting there, and you can get a look at what. Let me just turn this a little bit. There we go. You can see what this character is right here. Dang, there we are. So yeah, so this is the kind of stuff, and I can set this up here. So this is the kind of stuff that that I've been working on, but I've also been doing some stuff to recharge because it was Mrs. Enjetti, doctor's orders, bless her. And so I've ordered some stuff, some books to sit back with. I've also been catching up on stuff too. So let's talk about some cool stuff I've gotten. And I was gonna post something on X, but this was during the what do we say in the South? Trying to get right with God, trying to take a vacation. I always picture Jamie as someone who talks while their teeth are wired shut. Maybe it's just me. I don't know what he actually looks like. Yeah, I know. Jonathan, what is your preferred type? Your preferred type: oils, watercolor, acrylics. I like opaque watercolors and gouache. Those two kind of I work with together, and then acrylic. But I like water-based medium. Acrylics are amazing, but I can't use them. Hail Spaceman, it's good to see you, brother. How you doing? So I got this book, which I've been looking for years, in the mail yesterday, and this is a part of my relaxation. The artist who got me into the comic shop, Mike Zeck. Raw Fury, The Art of Mike Zeck. This is, actually, I'm going to tip the camera back because well, no, I'm still getting a ring light. Dang it, man. This is why we need producers. But The Art of Mike Zeck, love Mike Zeck. I think he's exceptional. So the artwork I saw on a cover that got me to go into a comic shop, I saw this artwork and I was like, oh my God, what is this? I need to read this comic book. Was the cover to Punisher Limited Series #2. I don't know how many of you guys know this cover, but this is it right there, man. This is it right there. Punisher Limited Series Issue 2, the painted cover of the Mike Zeck book. This guy's artwork, and by the way, this book was for an exhibition of his work, also has the pencil drawing he did that the painting was based on. So cool, man. Love Mike Zeck. Sort of did the definitive Punisher for me, and love his stuff, man. Look at his John Beatty's beautiful inks, and then there's Zipatone. They're using screen tone on this stuff too. Check that out. Just beautiful stuff, man. Beautiful stuff. So I got that. Then, in addition to that, look at all this stack of canvases I have over here, man. Craziness. Then in addition to that, oh crap, where is it? Hang on a second here. Where on earth did I put that? Oh, I know where it is. Hang on a second here, guys. One sec. Hang out up here. That's a better view anyway. Let me see. I'm gonna probably fall and start an avalanche. Apologies. Woo! Here we go. I got these from Mandy Summers and Stuntman Comics, guys. If you don't know Stuntman Comics, go check out their site. But I bought these from Mandy. These are the Dale Keown, Jack the Ripper, Vampire Hunter issue 2 books, and these are, damn, I hate that glare. Sorry, guys. This is the thing, man, about this whole stuff. I gotta figure this stuff out. But Dale's covers on this are amazing. I swear I backed this book. I'm having this a lot lately. Senioritis or whatever you call it. Having a lot of senior moments where I just go, I know I backed that book, but I didn't. I didn't back it. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? Like, I'm getting to the point now where I'm backing books 2 or 3 times out of fear I didn't back them. But Mandy sent me these. I really do like Jack the Ripper Vampire Hunter because it's got that kind of pulpy Hammer horror quality to it. Yeah, Jack the Ripper, you say. If you don't know Stuntman Comics emo trash, get yourself over there and back some Mandy Summers work because she's doing some great work. Peter Gilmore's artwork on this is fantastic. I did have, wherever the hell I put it, I just had it like 3 seconds ago. Gotta tell you what. But I do have Jack the Ripper Vampire Hunter #1 over there. Yeah, check out, oh yeah, his the 10 Nights of the Beast. Yeah, Zek's covers were awesome. Spaceman on that. Absolutely awesome. Thank you, our couples. There you go. Mandy Summers, Stuntman Comics. Check this out. It is cool stuff. And thank you, Mandy, for getting those to me. I really do appreciate it. Just really cool looking books. And there's a foil cover and a regular cover of this, or I should say a regular cover. It's a beautiful cover. But there's also a foil one, and I wanted to buy both, and I love that stuff. Yeah, I do need a diffuser for my light, Eric. I do. God, I tell you what, man. There's so much stuff to this. I love it, man. I'm so glad because Nosfero, Springball, none of this stuff, or Shanth Enjeti art would not have been possible without all this stuff. But you know what the biggest thing I keep running into when I'm doing these streams is set like right now, this is a really great view of the painting for you guys on screen. For me, the camera and the ring light are directly in front of my face. I can't see the painting. So sometimes when you guys see me working, I'm looking through the camera, like through the ring light hole to paint, and it's nightmare for your eyes, man. It's tough. So yeah, I got to figure out a way to do this, man. Got to figure out a way to do this stuff more effectively. So yeah, so I've been looking at a lot of art books. I gosh, I've just been doing so much stuff, man. So much stuff lately, in addition to all the work I'm doing. Like I was writing, see, I'm not supposed to be working right now. Getting myself in trouble. I was working on Spring Ball the other day, and probably when I was supposed to be relaxing. But guys, listen, it's a process, okay? It's a process. I quit smoking, and I have not drank soda now for a couple of months. And smoking I haven't done for decades, um, but man, I know how to stop things, but I can't do it all, man. I can't do it all. It's rough, man. Oh my lord. But it's it's nuts. But I'm trying my best to take a break and recharge because it's not good for anybody. It's not good for you guys, for us to get burnt out and all that stuff. You know how it goes. It's like people get really it's work, it's to get all this stuff together. But at the same time, man, I love hanging out with you guys. I'm so grateful for you guys backing and supporting all the stuff I do. Some of you guys obviously go all the way back to the first release of Springball. Some people know me since, I was a kid. Some people um bought the first two art books and didn't even know about Comicsgate, man. Thank you, man. I appreciate that, Immortal Fat 40 ounce. Amen, man. Yeah. Yeah, it's hard, man. It's hard for me to quit soda, but I'm making myself quit soda, man. Yeah, I know. That's the thing about caffeine. Like I was always telling my kid about this, man. Our kid, my son, love you, buddy. Love you. I miss you like crazy. Um, yeah, it's tough, man, when you have twins and they both go off to school. It's like a double whammy, man. I've been feeling it lately. I've been missing those guys like crazy. My son, like I get to see my daughter more, but my son, I haven't gotten to see him a lot. It's been getting me, man. It's been getting me. But it's it's like this is the worst answer I can give you, man. I stopped. I just stopped. The thing about, well, actually, that's not totally true. Let me rephrase that. Um, Mix two things that you're not wild about to replace what you need. So for me, I drink when I have sugar withdrawal from soda, I drink cranberry juice. No, cranberry Langers, you had perfect timing on that. Um and uh and then I drink Starbucks coffee drinks. I'm not wild about those, and you can't really have those with everything, right? You can't have coffee as a drink for everything. And between those two, I'm just not as addicted to them. So it gets rid of the headaches. And the hardest part is the caffeine headache withdrawal. That's the part that's rough, man. You know? You make us newbies to your work feel like we've known you forever. Well, listen, man, I feel like I've known you guys forever too. You make us feel so welcome for an introvert. Well, I mean, I appreciate that. Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's all right, take care, Rock. Love you, buddy. And love to the family, man. All right. I know you know what I'm going through with college too, by the way, missing somebody, so much love. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I never drink pop, and I half a gallon of water, half a pot of coffee every day. Yeah, I mean, like whenever I talk to like dentists or doctors or anyone else, man, um, they're always like, "Man, soda's just terrible, man." And I'm like, "I know, it's tough, but I love it, man. Love it. Quit soda. Beer is where it's at." Yeah, but see, beer does nothing for me. I don't like beer. I like caffeine. That's why, like, I meet so many people who are like, I don't like cigarettes because they make me jittery. I'm like, they don't make me jittery. That's the secret, man. And I don't smoke. Period. Let me be super clear about that. I did, and I smoked when I did. Like I was smoking cigarettes. None of that stuff, weed, none of that stuff. I don't find any of that stuff interesting. But it's like, you can't. It just can't do that shit, man. Like you just can't smoke. It's not great, but it's wonderful at the same time. And and so yeah, I'm trying to remember when I found Shanth or when I first found Shanth or he found CG. Let me see. So I've been in doing stuff like doing artwork like just for fun in Comicsgate and publicly since 2000. Would that have been 2019? I think, or 18, maybe. It was around the time Red Rooster launched, so it was pretty early on. And then doing stuff for Ethan, videos for Ethan. I think since 2020, maybe. I think maybe it was sooner than that. I'm not sure. But I reached out to Ethan in 2019. So that was the first time I introduced myself. And then I think I think it was 2019, he showed my artwork on stream. So it's been a while. It's been like, because I came in through the Fandom Menace and all that stuff. So I wasn't even thinking about going back and doing my comic book stuff. So it's crazy, man. Yeah, all that stuff just slows you down. Like I'm like a go, go, go kind of guy. Yeah, people are supposed to 7 times a day on average. Most people are dehydrated. Yeah, agreed. I'm totally that. Yeah, I drank diluted versions of whatever drank to the point. Yeah, that's another one too. Like people ask me about quitting smoking. Yeah, those early CG intros. Yeah, God, I can't even remember when the first ones I did were, but I know I had enough for a compilation when I launched Nosfero, which was in I think that was in 2020. So I think I had enough for a compilation of yeah, of my trailers in 2020. Yeah. I was just seriously, man, it was all about just grabbing an oar and doing whatever I could do to help people. Like the relax video, the Trump relax video I did for Ethan way back when. Like so much stuff like that, man. The intro to Kings, the original Ghostbusters intro, then the one that was the Bow Down to the Kings, Lemmy, and all that shit. Like that was the stuff I was doing. God, I just did a ton of stuff, man. Ton of stuff. But that was kind of my attitude about it, which was and it's like crazy, man. It's like I was even laughing the other day because Cecil's doing a new show with Juju on his channel. And I was laughing because I had a moment of feeling like, oh man, I should do an intro for him for this show. Because I did the intros for his other shows and stuff like that, just because when people entertain me and make me laugh, it's the same thing you guys do, man. It's like when you guys send super chats, when you guys become channel members, when you guys back books, like I know that because that's how I am. Yeah, damn, 2 hours late says Flutterbat. It's all right, no worries. Um, but that's how I am too, man. When I see stuff I like or artists I like, I'm like, how can I help? So there's an older comic book artist. He doesn't have a huge fan base, but he's an artist who was influential to me when I was younger. Let me rephrase that. He has a huge fan base, but he doesn't have any big popular works named Tim Vigil. And he does very like adult, dark, like beyond whatever work. And I saw an interview with him. I think it was on Cartoonist Kayfabe back in the day, obviously. And he was talking about how he lived in poverty. So I became a patron of his Patreon. I don't even go look at it in this particular case. Every now and again I do, but it's not something I regularly do because it seems like it's a crime to me that a comic book artist who gave me so much inspiration when I was younger um is has to think about living in poverty. That makes me like it's like, I want to support artists who've contributed to me. And it's just a natural thing. Like I want to buy physical media of stuff. I want to own books. I want to support art. And so for me, I know Mandy can flip those Dale Keown covers for a pretty penny on eBay if she wants to. They go for a lot of money. So it's like, I'm like, what? And Mandy was very kind about it. But I was like, what can I pay you to make this worth it? Like, or at least not an insult to your hard work. And that's just how it is. Because I want, if we don't have support from you guys, the stuff all goes away. It just does. We're not major companies. We're not making like what we gross, which is what you see we raise. That's what we gross. That's not what we profit. Which people get so confused by that. Like someone, not you guys, but casuals who don't or like see that stuff and they go, "Wow, you made this much money." It's like, no, I grossed that much money. I still have to pay for printing, for shipping, or whatever. Take that and put it in half, and that's what we're talking about. It's crazy, man. And that's why the support matters. That's why the channel memberships matter. I think I'll be taking off too. Understood. Have a good day, Shanth. Have a good one, everybody in the chat. Yes, indeed. Yeah, Cranberry Landers, take care, brother, and thank you for all of your support over these many years. Yeah, yeah, I did. I did that one. Yeah, way back when. A lot of those classics, that were funny. The Let Your Tiger Out Shane Davis one. I did that when Shane was totally new to Comicsgate and was having a very tough time with just like God, he was just exhausted. I think they were expecting there was a lot of different stuff going on, and you try to find your footing inside of Comicsgate. Sometimes it could be a lot, and coming up with that was just great, man. Because he had the Cat Pappy thing, so I took this song that my wife would go walking to, when she does her walks by herself and she wants to zone out. And it was this song I would play that just made her laugh all the time called "Let Your Tiger Out." And I said, that's perfect for Shane. I'm going to have the Let Your Tiger Out. And so I got some clips of him and made it like where he was lip syncing. And that stuff is fun. And I got to give a special thank you uh, because it was so cool, man. And I'm like, I can't believe I'm blanking. I must be fading. Hang on one second. Oh, yeah. I love doing that one for Shane. Had the tiger roar in it and everything. It was so fun, man. Is Belle Winters? I hope I'm not pronouncing her name wrong, but Belle Winters did a cool Comicsgate live intro And I think it was one of the first times I ever was in an intro or in a video that I didn't make. And even then, when I make videos, never put myself in them for some reason. It's just, I try to avoid it. Like the Comicsgate Kings intros, it just feels like it'd be weird to do. Um, but yeah, yeah, that was just, it was really cool to see. So thank you, Bell Winters, for that. That was a lot of fun. I appreciate it. Yeah, Raised by the Wolves. So I don't know who did that one first because someone else did a version of it. And then it was, but it was 480p. So I did a 1080p version of it. So the one that plays now is the one I did, but someone else, Ethan may have done that one, actually. It might have been Ethan who did that intro. Or it could have been Kelsey, because I think Kelsey was doing intros for Ethan back in the day too. So, but I don't know. I don't know the history on that. But yeah, I reworked that one after I did Shane's because I wanted to get the resolution of all those intros up to 1080p. Graham Nolan's with the eagle has landed. That was frame by frame, man. That was some frame by frame stuff I did on that. I found a video or a GIF of an eagle landing on a branch, and then frame by frame, every frame of that eagle, I painted out the trees, painted in the wings, all of that stuff to make that eagle has landed. And I came up with the idea of Graham being the eagle. I was like, who is Graham? If I was going to make Graham a character, who would I make him? And for some reason, Sam Eagle popped into my head. Sorry, Graham, if you've never heard that before. And although I think he'd love it. Sam Eagle's a great character. And I said, he's Eagle for sure. He's the Eagle. He's got to be. That's who Graham is. And so, and because we were doing this thing where for a while where it was like this animal theme with John and then with Shane, with Cat Pappy, the Cat Pappy stuff. And so then I was like, I got to come up with an animal for. So Art Thibert was easy, that one where he's got the fish in the mouth. But all this stuff, how far back does this stuff go? I have to bounce, Sean. Finish lunch and back to work. All right, take care, Spaceman. It's great seeing you, man. Have a great day. I didn't know this Shanth legacy. Shanth, shout out. Yeah, man. It's crazy. Yeah, yeah, the Tiger thing was great. My favorite one. Yeah. It's awesome. Ah, I was just thinking of that Tiger one. Yeah. So that's by an outfit. Oh gosh, this music producer. I forget what his name is. But he had this group called Maximum Balloon, and I just found it tangentially. And Maximum Balloons, Let Your Tiger Out, and I just went, that's perfect for Shane because it was describing what Shane was going through. This, I think, this was before Mange even, and but I could be wrong. Mange was when Mange came along. Mange just took over. But yeah, you try to do things to make it feel like a party, and it's a fun thing to come into. And that I don't think I was even in the Comicsgate green room when I was doing this stuff. It's crazy. I don't think, if I'm not mistaken, I have to think on that. Yeah, I don't even think I was in the Comicsgate green room for 3 or 4 years. Um, yeah, it's crazy, man. It's like it, it's funny because I see people get so bent out of shape about certain things, but it's like I just wanted to help make the shows as good as I could make them, and was promoting my book, and I was happy. It was just nuts, man. And so yeah, like yeah, I mean, I count my blessings every day, man. That's what it is. Yeah. I love that song from, I know this is tangents, but you're getting me after, 2 hours here. Let Your Tiger Out. Shane's intro was always a jump scare for me with the first 10 times I saw it. Always made me jump. Yeah, the tiger roar. Yeah, man. But I love that from White Christmas is one of my favorite Christmas movies. And I love that. Go to sleep counting your blessings instead of your sheep. I think that's just a great one. Go to sleep counting your blessings. One of my heroes. I know that uh, Ethan likes and Andrea like Sinatra and all that stuff, and that's great. But if I had one person where I'd say, man, that's who I'd like to be with, like that's one of my heroes, it would be Bing Crosby, man. Bing Crosby, what a legend, man. What an American, what a legend. Love Bing Crosby. He's another one of my heroes. Just a great artist, performer, real decent dude. Yeah, I love Bing Crosby, man. Bing Crosby is the cat's pajamas. There you go, man. We're having fun. Yeah, it's painting is a blast, man. Amoral fat 40 ounce. It's got the terrified face. There you go. Yeah, I struggle with it when I struggle with when I got here compared to when I watched catch up videos. Oh, I got you. I know I was here, Jack, anyway, before the Zack Snyder Friday Night Time stream. Yeah, I guess probably, yeah. Yeah, that was, I was watching a ton of streams, and I probably could tell you, I was here before the High Council became a thing. I was here before Ethan and Cecil met. I was here because I know I was there. I remember when Cecil first came on High Council, and I think it was Jeff from World Class brought him on, and Ethan, and he was telling Ethan he was whistling through his nose or something ridiculous. And Ethan was just like, I don't know if I like this guy, blah blah blah, like way back. I remember the first Jack shows. I remember when Anna and John met, all that stuff. But I'm just trying to think of what are the ones, like what are the big touchstone moments for me. Um, I remember before Ethan was legit canceled from DC Comics, and they said they weren't going to renew his contract. That was like horrible. All those times were just terrible, man. Because yeah, I remember the soy voice. I remember the burning of the soy pants. All that stuff. These were really great times, man. But they were also incredibly stressful times, like for Ethan and for everybody else. Like I think that. Hang on a second. Sorry, I'm trying to get my freaking. Where the heck is this? Medication time for my arthritis, which is a blast. Arthritis is one of the great joys of getting older. But it's like I was watching. Speaking of somebody I was watching back then, who I still watch every now and again and support, was Michael from Retro Blasting. I don't know if any of you guys watch Retro Blasting, but I remember when, um, yeah, when God, it would have been when the Last Jedi came out for sure. But I remember when Retro Blasting was on World Class. I think it was on a High Council episode. I mean, so many things, man, so many things. But so Michael from Retro Blasting, I was talking. Oh, Mikey, I completely understand that, man. Yeah, I was a Wednesday Warrior and eBay Amazon buyer. First book I backed was Inglorious Rex. It's a great book. Shane's awesome. Shane has been really supportive and helpful with Springball, but I also just like him because we have a lot of shit in common. I haven't talked to so many people in ages because I only talk on streams, you know, outside of giving Eric art lessons, um, and the occasional hey on X, I don't really do. Oh man, damn, my joints are killing me. I don't really do a lot of that stuff, but Shane is great and Glorious Rex is great. I'm really excited about Annatomic on June 14th. I think Anthony Gonzalez Clark is just doing some incredible work right now. Beautiful stuff, man. Those pages look great. But Michael from Retro Blasting did a video today where he goes, people keep talking about like every so often I'll get people saying you've gotten so much more negative and you're not as positive as you used to be. He goes, but I've been getting those every year since I started this channel, and people talk about the glory days of this. And I went back and I watched all those videos, and it's like, he goes, no, things have been pretty consistent. And with regards to Comicsgate has been rough from the go, and it's been rougher on creators from the go who were here at the start, and all the turbulent stuff. But I mean, it's crazy to think about how tough it was back then. I'm glad we're in the place that we're in now. That is not as horrifying as it was back then, man. It's crazy. Yeah, I mean that's how you do it, man. You got to lurk and you got to do things. Like I was in Comicsgate before I was even like posting in chats and things like that. And if I was, I'm sure it wasn't under my name. Like it was. I mean, I don't know what it was under, but I don't think I even had a YouTube account at that time, if that makes sense. Like even leaving a comment seemed extroverted to me. Think about that. You know, I don't know when I got on Twitter, but everything was on Twitter. Hmm. Man, I gotta crack my neck. Barely tilted. See, this arm gives me a lot of trouble, guys. I'm just telling you. It ain't good. Oh, man. But yeah, it's crazy. I made my YouTube account so I could comment on Zach. That's what happens, Eric Huffles. So I could comment on Zach's live streams and chats. Yeah. That's how it goes. That's how it goes with a lot of us. This is so strange, man. YouTube did not exist in this type of broadcasting form for me. I was just watching trailers on it. Live streams were nuts. Um, it just was crazy, and I got onto X, Twitter back in the day, because Twitter was the primary way that people in Comicsgate were communicating. Sorry for that sound there. Just have to move this over so I can get to this hand here. But yeah, it's really strange. You find yourself like it's the same thing with teaching. I didn't get into teaching, and that's an 18-year career for God's sake. But I didn't get into teaching as a college professor or teaching in any capacity. Um, just by going, okay, I'm going to be a teacher. I started going as an illustrator, as a visiting artist, to go and give lectures at colleges. And what my wife found is I would stay after my lectures answering student questions for hours until the teachers went home. And I was looking at everybody's portfolio and I was doing stuff, and the students kept going, we want him as a teacher. When are you going to get him as a teacher? And every time I went in to teach and I was around young artists, they just wanted to take classes with me. One of the reviews for my job interview at the full-time college teaching job I had from a student was, hire him. I'm a senior and I'm so depressed I won't get to learn from him. It was awesome. I really know how to teach when I go into a classroom and get things done. I love watching people's artwork improve. You either have that or you don't. There's very little credit and reward for teaching people skills that um, that they can compete with you with. No one ever thinks about that. Um, you can't have that mindset when you teach. You want to actually improve people's lives. Because if you say to somebody, um, like, what's a really good example? Okay, I'll give you a really good example. I don't even know if I should say this, but what the hell, I'll say it anyway. So, my favorite thing to do, and not to the point of, uh, whatever, martyrdom or whatever, it just makes me happy. My favorite thing to do is to do things for people. And in Comicsgate, it's doing things like intros for Cecil, trailers for people like John or whatever else. Like, that's the game I'm in. That's the game I'm in terms of what I like to do. Like to help people when I can. Like to promote people when I can. That's why there's trailers at the start of all of my streams. Right? Love that. Um, I've never, even when I was a teacher, I was painting classrooms, helping other teachers like crazy. Man, never in my time as a teacher did I ever feel like I got even any of that back from my colleagues. Sorry to say that, but it's true. It's 100% true. More often than not, it was it's just it's sort of sickening to me when I look back on it. I worked, like, I did things that were just insane when I look back on them, trying to make the school a better place, and things that people didn't really value, right? Um, in that capacity, one person in Comicsgate, for me, it doesn't count. Like, I'm not talking about doing it for other people. Okay, doing it for other people is great, but I'm talking about someone being ridiculously generous and selfless to me. The kind of thing I like to help people. I love to do that kind of stuff. Killed me at it. Like, I cannot. I still don't know what to make of it, man. So I am giving victory to this man for, in our dynamic, thoroughly demolishing me to the point I don't think I could recover. But I'll see. I'm gonna work on some stuff. I gotta get big first. I gotta grow this thing before I can get to that point. Is John Malin? John, I know you love this. I know it's your thing, and I respect that. Dig that about you, man. But you won. You completely shocked me beyond anything I've probably experienced from a fellow artist in terms of your support for Springball. Uh, you doing that cover, you doing the launch, you doing the closeout. I don't know what to make of that. That kind of goes against much of what I have I've seen in terms of the human experience in my life. I'm not a wild optimist, but man, uh I just that made my head spin around, man. Yeah, yeah. That's why. And it's a lot of things, guys. It's a lot of things, right? Um, I've been in situations that have been especially when I was a kid, where I had to walk into situations that I said, no, fuck this. I'm gonna walk in there and I might get my ass kicked for some bullshit, you know, prejudice bullshit. I don't like talking about that kind of shit anyway, but think about that, man. It's like, it sucks. Most people talk about the brave shit they would do, but they don't do them. And most of that shit's done alone, and it's terrifying. It looks badass, someone on the outside, but in the inside, you're like going, this could go any way, and I could be in some serious danger. Watching John say, fuck this, I'm going into C2E2 and getting escorted out, I was like, this guy's real. He gets it. It's the principle of the thing. I had a misguided sense of justice from watching Gandhi when I was a kid. I watched Gandhi way too young because I was like, yeah, fuck that, man. The right thing is the right thing. Do the right thing. And that is how I'm wired. With me, with whatever mine are, not for other people, man. And yeah. No, see, Mikey, this is where I got to disagree. It would be. Yes, it would be cool. Um for John to do a Pigman cover, but this is my problem with it, man. And I got to talk to yeah, you witnessed I witnessed it live too. I Guys, it's this. I'm not trying to say like nobody knows. I'm sure got to be somebody watching this who's had experiences like this, right? Um but those can be some fairly terrifying experiences, and handling them cool, making your point, going to a place knowing that you could get into serious shit. I've done that as a teacher. I've done that publicly. I've done that in faculty meetings. It's tough. Yeah. Yep. Ben Kingsley, Best Indian Award. Yeah. And he's like me, man. He's half, which is funny. Boris Karloff was half, which I didn't know till recently that he's Indian. I was like, oh my God, of course. His parents were like living in India and all that sort of stuff. Or sorry, his grandparents were living in India. But yeah, man, it's craziness. So I think I think I feel sort of an interest in paying that stuff forward. But I gotta, you guys would have to want to back it, man. You know, you guys would have to want to back it. But I could see myself doing a gritty. But I gotta have the painting in my head first. I gotta find the painting. See, I'm not supposed to be working right now. My wife is gonna be so pissed. That's all right. She knows what she married. But yeah, I could see myself I should think about doing a Pigman piece, a cover or something. I gotta figure out something. Yeah, can you tell your people to stop calling me? No, man, they won't. Let me tell you something, man. If you pick up the phone, it's like what's his name? Wasn't it Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker, that psychopath, who said that if you're sleeping on if you live on the first floor in a first floor apartment and you leave your window unlocked, you wanted me to kill you. I was like, whoa, psychopath, obviously. What a son of a bitch, by the way. Yeah. He wasn't prosecuted for 50% of the crimes he did, and that first 50%, I get why they didn't prosecute him. Watch the document. If you need to be nauseated, watch the documentary. But when that police officer tells the story of talking to that kid and going, "We're not putting her on the stand," man, that got me, man. But here's the thing, right? Um, where the hell was I going with that? What we just talked? Someone said, "Oh, yeah." If you pick up the phone from an Indian accented telemarketer, you wanted them to rob you. I mean, holy crap, man. Indians did not invent pickpocketing, but they pickpocketed the person who did. If you've ever been, I've been to India, man. It's like those kids work in teams. You think they went nowhere? My God. John's awesome. I get that Sean didn't think about the Muslims going after him. Yeah, exactly. That's right. Yeah. Yeah, it's a weird sort of thing, man. Oh, thank you, Chris. I appreciate that, man. Yeah. Um yeah, it's nuts, man. Yeah. Yeah, it should be like that. Yeah. Yeah, maybe a little bit. Maybe I am. Uh-oh. Someone pounded on the door. Hold on a second here. Sorry. but yeah, I mean, it's when I was very young, nobody locked their doors. Yeah, no kidding, man. It's yeah, you know what's so funny is I'm on vacation. That's how I'm seeing it, emo. If I'm a little nuts today, it's because I'm on vacation. I'm just taking it easy. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna go see who it is. Yeah, it's ice. They found Sean. No kidding, man. Good lord, you have no idea how many of those jokes I've made lately. Oh my lord, about myself. It's too funny. Yeah, so we have a pet bunny, and one of the things I like to do to amuse my wife is I uh I give him a voice, and the voice is yeah, the voice has prejudices against me, and it just makes me laugh my head off. It's so crazy, man. Um, oh my god, it's just too funny. Yeah, and yeah, there were a lot of ice jokes. There were a lot of build the wall jokes. For a while there that were cracking me up. She's a patient woman, but yeah, his fear of hawks is a big part of the bit, but you don't get to see that. That's just for her. Simply Green's laughing, man. Yeah, I gotta up my game. Yeah, we all gotta up our games, man. It's the way it is. It's the way it is. It's how we do things. But you know, it's fun. It's fun to hang out, man, and it's fun to do this stuff. And yeah, being on vacation. I mean, it's people don't like. How do I put it? There's no way I can ever really show folks, you know, the all those aspects of yourself, and I think that's good because some stuff should be freaking private, man. But it's like, you know, there's when I was teaching, I used to tell my students, it's like I start every day dropping my kids off at school because I did that till they were in the 6th grade, getting them ready, getting their shoes on, and then before that, I was dropping them off at daycare, man, because we were both working like crazy, and it's so funny. Yeah, he can jump, his teeth look at the bones, man. Exactly. Yeah, oh yeah, man. That bunny, and the bunny's got a southern accent because I grew up in the South, and so he's just and I gave him this really funny uh lispy, ridiculous Southern accent. It's just too funny, man. So I have to do that stuff to make Lauren laugh. She gets a kick out of it. She's a hard worker too, man. She works like crazy. But yeah, look at how this stuff comes together, man. I love working with this stuff. Wait, what's up, John? Shanth is part Indian. Yeah, gotta be, man. Sean says he's taking it easy, and yet he's so spicy. Yeah, well, yeah, because I mean, I idle at 60 miles an hour. I don't idle at 0. You know, it's just the way it is. But you know, it's also it's also the fact that it's nice to be on vacation. I think you know what I think it is. I think it's I'm at this point right now with the work and with where I'm about to like restructure my studio. For those of you guys coming in late, I don't know if I showed this to everybody, but for those of you guys coming in late, let me adjust the format of this real quick. I don't know what that's gonna do, but let's give it a shot. Let's make this a. Do I want to do a wide? Let's do a 4x3. Oh, hey, that worked out perfectly. Nice. So behind me, if you look behind me, you will see that I've got a new poster. Now this thing will look small in frame because it's far away or it's got some distance on it because of the camera lens. That is a 30-inch high by 40-inch wide Golden Voyage of Sinbad poster that I got printed on canvas. And so that is what's behind me now because I just realized when people tune into my streams, guys, I'm always thinking about like I'm inviting you into my living room, right? It's Bob Ross talks about that a lot. Bob Ross, man, is a hero. Undefeated. If you like Bob Ross, back my stuff. It's not like Bob Ross, but I love Bob Ross. That's what I'll say. But it's there was something really cool about having people over, you know, having people come into the studio, having people spend time with you. Bob Ross did that. Fred Rogers did that as well. There were just a lot of people from that time period who did that, and I just think that I want you guys to see the books, the crazy stuff, like the kind of the mess of it. It's not really that organized, but I want it to be real. Like you guys see the books, you guys see the sketches, you see the stuff I'm working on because um when I was young and I was trying to learn how to be an artist and I was trying to get in, it was again, I've said this before, growing up in Chattanooga where I grew up, it was a very much a you can't get there from here kind of thing. And yeah, I have no idea what happened with all that, but I think it was well, his wife died so before he did by a lot of, you know, a few years. So um I don't know what her situation is, but I know his son might be feuding with the Bob Ross company. I don't know how it all worked out. But it's wild. But it's one of those tragic artist things. I mean, it's either the family does or the creator does. Look at Stan Lee. He was on the flip side of that. I think if your family doesn't steal your blood and you're a successful artist, then you know, you've done all right. But that's the kind of stuff that is very creepy to me. It's like, good lord, the creative's life. And just again, painting in that negative space to make that hand come forward. I was sketching that hand and then I get to come in. That's the thing about drawing that's different than painting, is that we don't think about these things in terms of erasing. And again, Bob said it best, the way that he taught people to paint, there are no mistakes, only happy accidents. And that's right. You either get to that painting or you quit. But there really aren't mistakes in wet on wet oil painting, and there aren't mistakes in acrylic painting. You make mistakes in acrylic painting when you mix the paint so thick that it starts making ridges that you can't ever cover up. But that's just because you don't know how to mix the paint. You don't know how to mix it on the palette to get that right feel to it. There's no reason to have to do that. So yeah, I mean, I can paint a new painting over an old painting, and you won't see the old painting underneath it. And that's the way to approach it for if when you're certainly when you're learning. And if your teachers don't know how to do that, then you're gonna have trouble. And I had to teach myself. I mean, I always say that the biggest advantage the students have when I was teaching them was, well, the biggest disadvantage they have is they didn't have my mentor, who was not a college teacher of mine. I had to drive down to Atlanta to have Brian Stelfree's his wisdom and his ass kickings. Let's be real, shared with me, and I learned so much there. I learned more from him than I learned from art school. That's just a fact. Um, but the biggest advantage my students have is they didn't have to have a college experience where there wasn't somebody like me there teaching skills. It's not a it's not bragging if it's true. And it's the same thing with, if you've ever had a bad doctor, you appreciate a good doctor, that's for sure. Some of the best crochet patterns were happy accidents. Yep, was making one thing that it turned out something else. Yeah, and one of the things that my daughter did, which I probably have shared with you guys, is she crocheted me a Nosfero. So this is my Nosfero crochet, which keeps falling down, but I should probably put it there. I want to have it somewhere where people can see it better, but it keeps falling. King Kong, hold on to Nosfero for me, all right? There you go. Hopefully that's not going to fall. But yeah, I just got an EMF detector off Walmart for $9. You wouldn't believe this, but there are ghosts. Oh my gosh, in my light switches, in my iPad, and in my cell phone. Oh, listen, man, I love that. I love Art Bell, man. I'm down for all of that stuff. Uh, Layers of the paint that are too thick just doesn't look good anyway. Yeah, I like to kind of preserve the canvas a little bit too, that texture. Same thing with why I like watercolors and watercolor paper. Um, there's just something about it that I really like. I like how this is coming along here too. I mean, it's a funny thing, but I could just, the reason why streams can go on so long when I'm doing these things is because does she know how to read patterns? She probably does. Um, she's she's got all these skills I don't have, man. She taught herself how to play the guitar, piano. Like, she's just a machine of learning. It's incredible. I like Bob Ross so much. Back in the day, I used to record his painting episodes. Yeah, absolutely. On VHS, had like 4 or 5 hours worth of them on tape. Yeah, and he's crushing it on YouTube, by the way. Undefeated from beyond the grave, kids. That's the way it is. That's just the way it is. But it's the thing that's so fun about painting. Let me see if I can make this happen here. God, my office is like nuts. I don't know if this is gonna stay. See if that focuses a little bit. But the thing that's fun for me about this is you get to sort of create entire worlds. And I love what's happening right. Move this down just a little bit. I love what's happening right there. That's blue, black, and white. Okay? So let me see if this makes sense to you guys. This is blue, black, and white. But because of the context of the blue right there, that starts to look orange, does it not? That starts to look like I used a warm color there, and there are no colors on this but black, white, and blue. But look at that. That's the magic of color. That's the magic of painting. Isn't that crazy how that works? Don't worry about the typos, Flutterbat. It's funny to think all those historical painters, and I could see Bob Ross becoming a historical painter. Yeah, I think about that too. Absolutely. Yeah, because he had impact. But like I love that's something that paint does that's so exciting to me. That it creates the illusion of color because that's how the eye reads it because of what's around it. And yeah, there's something fun about that. Look at that. So fun, man. I hope this gets it's got a hint, right? And Morals knows what I'm talking about. It looks like it's got a hint of orange in it. And that's just what complementary colors do. Orange is the opposite of blue. So in this environment where there's only blue, black, and white, the gray takes on this subtle hint of orange. Your eye starts feeling orange with that, which is so crazy. There's not a single bit of warm paint on this entire canvas. There's blue, white, and black. Look at that. Isn't that crazy? I just, it's amazing. Amazing. Painting still just blows my mind. I'm so excited about that poster. Part of the reason I'm streaming today is because I was so excited about that. I'm really trying to get this room, which is basically like storage for shipping, fulfillment, painting, all that stuff. And it's always going to be that. But I'm a big fan of Guillermo del Toro's Bleak House and his creative environment. And I just thought, I want to have this show a little bit more like Fred Rogers and Mr. Rogers in a funny sense. Um, which is coming into like getting to come into the studio and actually get to see it where I could walk around and show you guys the camera, show you guys like my books and all this stuff so you guys can see what it's like to have a working studio beyond. I mean, it's not about making it like it's not ever going to be glamorous. I want to show you what a workspace actually looks like because when I went down and I was interning at Gaijin Studios, but also before that, when I was just going down there to see Brian, those guys, their studio was incredible. Just incredible for me. Like it was just their books and their cubicles. Like it wasn't like it was a fancy. I've been to Skywalker Ranch, but I haven't been up to the work area of it. Actually been to Skywalker Ranch twice, I think. And I've been to all these different places. And your studio, you have an ability to make something that is really cool. And I didn't want to do, the neon light backdrops and all that stuff. I mean, that stuff is all fine and good, but it's for me I was like, I want to try to build something and figure out a way to do it. I don't know. I still haven't figured it out yet. Um, yeah, yeah, it's true. Getting to be in an artist studio and getting to watch artists work it's a rare thing. Like you had to be Bob Ross or you had to have a documentary on you to see that. Now you can come in here and anybody can watch me paint and see demos of my stuff. It's really nuts, man. It's crazy. And that's the thing. It's like yeah. How do I put it? You know how they say you don't have to be crazy to work here, but it helps. I'll give you another one for Comicsgate, at least for me, is you don't have to be romantic, enthusiastic, and all those things to work here, but it does help, man. It does help if you like sharing artwork, if you like, um, you're passionate about the stuff that you do. It's going to help you, and I think that's an important thing. And it's like everything I paint and I draw. Like I remember saying to myself, man, if someone's going to buy my book, if someone's going to buy Nosfero, it's a fully painted comic book. A lot of people, and I'm always happy when they say this, they acknowledge this. They like, not like it's whatever. But I wasn't buying painted comics when I was younger. I certainly wasn't painting. And so for a lot of people that's a bit of a wall. It's like I don't know if I want to buy a painted comic. Like, what's it going to be and what's it about? And so I'm like I've got to promise them that the kind of like beautiful illustrations and sexiness and sexy women and all that other cool stuff. And I was like, and there's going to be breasts in this book. Brace yourself. There's going to be nude figures, female figure. And there's going to be, really cool monsters and creatures because I'm trying to get you to buy this book. I'm trying to get you to buy this thing and I want it to be exciting and entertaining. There's going to be creatures, monsters, and werewolves and all that kind of stuff. And I want to put all that stuff into the comic. when I do an illustration, that's what I love about Frank Frazetta. I don't think you can have Frank Frazetta and like it's weird. Okay, so here's the best thing I have going for me with regards to Frank Frazetta. I was not a Frank Frazetta. I didn't grow up on Frank Frazetta because I didn't know about his work. I only looked at comic stuff. So, and when I was introduced to Frank Frazetta, I'm like, well, that's all fine and good, but I'm not a painter and I'm never going to paint. And it wasn't till I started painting that I went, oh, I see what he's doing. It makes sense now. And I think a lot of people aspire to be, Frank Frazetta or Richard Corbin, and you can't. It's like aspiring to be Todd McFarlane. You can't do it. They're themselves. But the first thing you got to do is appreciate their mentality. And their polish isn't their mentality. Frank Frazetta's stuff has got just balls. It's not about being, getting everything correct and making everything pretty. It's about just throwing yourself at the canvas, man. Oh, I love that. I think about Cecil every time I say buy my book, man. Monsieur Jetty, we all know there is no such thing as a sane artist. Yeah, claims that they're lying. Yeah, it is a funny thing. I tried to stand up in my early 20s, was more infighting with the comics than there is artists. Yeah, absolutely right. Yeah. It's wild, man. It's a fun thing, man. It's like it's a fun thing to do the whole I don't know, to let people come into it and have them see your work and have them see how you do things. If you can get over the stage fright, which was a real thing. That's why I like having my old streams up from the start of this thing. You could just see how nervous I am. God, man, I did not know what I still don't know what I'm doing, but I'm doing my best. It's crazy. Tiny correction. It's not that you want them to buy the book. You want them to. Yes. Thank you, Amoral Fat 40 ounce. You want them to want to buy the book. Yes, I do. You could not have said it better, man. Perfect. And I want them when they get it to be as happy as I am when I get books. And I love books. Love books. It makes moving a nightmare, but it's the only way to live. You know? There we go. Slowly marrying things into the background before we put the contrast in there. Yeah, you got to have a little bit of insanity. Yeah, boomerang. Yeah, it is one of those things. Exactly, Amor. Yeah. It's got to be, man. It's just got to be. It's how it works. Welcome. We've got 102 people watching. Hit the like if you've not hit the like yet. Make sure you subscribe to us over here on YouTube. It does help everything we do here. And thank you to all my channel members. You will have your names in the credits. I just updated the channel member credits before the stream started. So if you got a membership during the stream, your name won't be there, but it will be there for the next stream. So I always make sure I get my channel member credits up before I start a stream almost 100% of the time, So emo trash, let me see here. Still wouldn't be as diligent of a little derailer if I wasn't. Yeah, on some level, an agent of chaos. Yeah, it has to happen. So yeah, big things. Yeah, Past Master Dan, thumbs up looks like this. Yes, exactly. Past Master Dan. Oh man, he's like the sheriff of Nottingham in here, man. he's the sheriff, man, for sure, of Shanth Enjeti art. He keeps it reals. He keeps it real. Keeps it real fun, man. Keeps it real fun. That's what I like. So I mean, it's a strange thing. Like I started painting this last night after like doing a sea of just scribbles because I was again supposed to be taking a break. I'm not great at that, but working on it. And I don't know, man. I just sort of this story has been happening in the back of my mind, and I think that's how I'm going to do it. So if you're coming in here late, this is just for fun. I'm supposedly on vacation. Don't tell the missus that I'm painting and streaming at the same time. I've been streaming for 3 hours now. It's just one of those things. I got to catch up with you guys, man. Got to catch up with you guys. But the thing for me about it is that I'm obsessed with Hammer horror movies. And now here's another cool thing. There's a channel called The Choice Voice on YouTube. My friend Michael, who God bless him, just lost his older brother last month, I think it was. Just a terrific guy. He was the first person that I saw on YouTube who was like going after the post George Lucas Star Wars. He started with the The Force Awakens. So he saw what I saw when that came out, which is they had destroyed Luke's character from the jump. They destroyed Han and Leia from the jump, all that sort of stuff. But he talks about movies, and particularly he loves horror movies. And he lives out in Oklahoma. Great dude. Makes Star Trek fan films. Really cool guy. And so Mike introduced me to Hammer horror movies. So without YouTube, without Michael, of the Choice Voice, Michael King, and he's not in Comicsgate. If you don't know him, check out his channel. Give him a subscribe. He's just a really good dude. Um, and but Mike introduced me to the Hammer horror movies, and the Hammer horror movies introduced me things like lobby cards and things like that. So I just thought to myself, even though this is for recreation, I can never think about, like, if I do a good job on something, somebody's going to want to own it or have it pinned to their wall or buy the original or whatever. And I know I do. I say that because that's what I'm like. I'm like, wow, I want a print of that. That's awesome. And I put my money where my mouth is. Because I love art so much. I love books so much. I'm a general knowledge guy. Bring it. Love it, man. Love it. Past Master Dan is the real one. But so Michael sort of introduced me to that. And so, yeah, here's the question, right? I had not heard of lobby cards. The promotional 8x10 sort of story photos they would put in the lobby of movie theaters to increase your interest beyond the movie poster, right? And I swear to God, man, it's true, John. It's crazy. But they put them up there to kind of like as story notes, and Hammer Horror did a ton of those. And I started thinking, what if I did a bunch of paintings, like 8 paintings or so of a story, printed them as large sort of card stock prints, really nice prints of the stuff, and they could be an add-on you could get for any of the stories I'm doing, and it just really appeals to me. And I would paint them in acrylic on canvas. They would be very uh, just illustrative and sexy and lurid, like great pulp artwork. I could tell crazy stories and I could do stuff with them. And so I just thought, yeah, I mean, I can't wait to get back to, by the way, Amoral Fat 40 ounce. Oh, well, someone just gifted a membership. Holy cow. Thank you for the membership. Who gave the membership? I missed a gifting. Gifted a membership by Nomad Damon. Nomad Damon again with a gifted membership. God bless you, man. Thank you for the support. Hello, and welcome. Courtesy of Nomad Damon. Let me get you some cheerleaders here, Nomad Damon.
Charge! Charge!
Awesome. Thank you, Nomad Damon. Much love. So now imagine this. What's up, Catalyst Vault? Did you see the red planet over Florida a few days ago? No, I didn't, man. But that sounds really cool, Catalyst Vault. I love that stuff, man. So I started thinking I could do some really, because you guys, Comicsgate, the cool thing about Comicsgate and the cool thing about what's going on right now anyway with art is that people are getting reconnected with art and artists and kind of meeting people. And I just thought to myself, for those of you guys who love art and you love sexiness and you love stuff that's like, I want some cool kind of monstery stuff that's not gore, or it's not this or it's not that, but it's really just cool, sexy, beautiful pulp art. I go, that would be such a cool way to do a story where you could collect the cards and, like get the cards as an 8-card set, and then you could put them up as artwork depending on if you like them. And, Eric Weathers did something really cool with the poster book for that matter too. But I just want to bring cool stuff back, like lobby cards and things like that. Just the idea of them. They're so cool. Hey, what's up, JWK Creates? Good to see you again, man. Always love watching you paint. Thank you, man. You do the coolest stuff when you're not even trying. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. That's very kind of you. I love being able to chat with you guys. It's like a weekly con. Yeah, I love chatting with you guys too, man. Monstery. Trademark Sean. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, Monstery is one of the many words come out of the Hooked on Phonics shop. You know me. I've only got a tenuous grasp of the English language. But it's just, I like sexy, cool stuff. And that's why. Past Master Dan, I don't know if you were a fan of them. I feel like you might be, but I'm not sure. Are you a fan of the Ray Harryhausen Sinbad movies? I mean, you saw me talk about this earlier, but I don't know if I directly asked you. But I just got a giant canvas print for when I stream as a backdrop of the Golden Voyage of Sinbad. But man, that's the stuff I'm talking about. Like Carolyn Monroe, the centaur cyclops, which I think is so badass, man. I love that. I love that thing. That is my favorite Ray Harryhausen creature, by the way. I love the original Cyclops, but the Centaur Cyclops is badass. Yes, been a minute. Yeah, that's right. The lead was the lead was Sigma. Yeah, there you go. Absolutely. Yeah, it's just there's something really badass. That's a hell of a great reference, by the way, past Master Dan. Respect. I had to think on my feet for a second. The Shiva fight was the best. You're right. You're actually right. That is the best bit of stop motion animation. And I just loved how he just took all these different myths, which is what I love to do, and threw them together. Didn't give a damn if they crossed over. Like, oh, is someone going to be offended? You know what I mean? Sweet Carolyn Monroe. Yes, Carolyn Monroe, man. I showed this to my buddy Nick, my brother, who's not on YouTube. He's my brother from another mother, my best friend in the world. And Nick goes, the only problem with that poster is Carolyn Monroe needs to be bigger. And I was like, when you're right, you're right. So let me just make it bigger so you guys can see it. Check that out, man. And there's the Shiva right above Carolyn Monroe. Can you see that, past Master Dan? And they've even got what's his name? Was it Sakura? Is after he makes her come to life, is standing inside of what she comes out of. But holy cow, isn't that awesome? Oh, I'm not sharing. Oh, it should be on screen. Is it not showing up? It should be behind me. Look behind my head. Past Master Dan. It's the poster on the wall. See if you can see it. It might be small. I don't know if you're watching on your phone or what. But I mean, she was a knockout. Oh, you got it. Yeah, she's kind of small, but my brother goes, the only problem with that poster is she should be bigger. Because he's a big Carolyn Monroe fan. So yeah, that's what I want to paint for you guys, and that's what I want to make for you guys. That stuff. Cool comics. I mean, Springball is just going to be off the chain. It's the story is great. The artwork is crazy. What's up? What's up, Dan? How you doing, Dan? Flawless Lost in chat. How to draw comic books with Dan by Dan Lost. If you haven't subscribed to his channel, please do. He does great art demos, and it's great to see you, brother. It's just, but I love Ray Harryhausen stuff. That's actually the best example I could give. My stuff is just like Ray Harryhausen for an older audience, for people who are, yeah. It's like Frazetta meets Ray Harryhausen meets, I haven't actually talked about him as an influence enough. Because maybe it's because it's not totally conscious, but Ray Harryhausen is definitely an influence on what I do. Grey Wolf in the house saying hello. Everybody saying hi. Cursed Creation saying hello. Yeah, everybody saying hello to Dan Lawless, the man, the legend, the myth. Absolutely, man. But yeah, it's that stuff is. I always love to think about that stop motion stuff when I'm painting monsters and creatures. I don't know if I'll ever come up with anything as cool as what Ray Harryhausen did. That guy's a genius. So cool, Past Master Dan. I'm making a room in the garage to install a drafting table. Yeah, for my tentative return to creating, and I can't tell what that is. Creating and something. It looks like it's a spell check error or something. Other works. And is it restoring? Just like looking at my keyboard, trying to figure out what it says. Madeline Smith and Carolyn Monroe are my two favorite Hammer actresses. Yeah, Madeline Smith is the basis for the female lead in Nosfero. She's the basis for Laurel. So yeah, Ingrid Pitt is also another character. Ingrid Pitt is the villainess in the first Nosfero book, is based on Ingrid Pitt. She's got an amazing story, man. Holy cow. Her life story is like an adventure movie and a horror movie at the same time. Escaping Nazi Germany, coming to England. Oh, reproducing. Gotcha. Reproducing, I was good at one time. Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Very cool. Do. I love that kind of stuff, man. Yeah, drafting is one of the things I wish we still taught. Drafting and penmanship, I think, would have a huge impact on our quality of life if they were part of education, a mandatory part of education. That and being able to be expelled needs to be a mandatory part of education as well. If people don't want to be in school, let them go, for God's sake. Like, God, it used to be like 15 or something like that, or even maybe younger. But not everybody is interested in being there, and it's not good for the people who are. I say the same thing for art school too. I mean, if you're just there to cause trouble, whatever happened to getting expelled from art school is impossible, apparently, based on what I've seen. But I'm hoping that'll change. My alma mater, that I was talking about before, actually threatened to expel a bunch of students who had took over a building protesting. I'm sure you can imagine what for. And I was like, whoa, did they finally figure out that playing nice with thugs doesn't work? Go figure. Yeah, expelled, no refunds. Yeah, I mean, but it's just like, if you don't want to be, Mort Drucker was a favorite character artist. Mort Drucker is the man. Sorry, Dan, you got sucked into that sentence. All right, there you go. Mort Drucker. There. I think we've covered it. Mort Drucker is just an incredible artist. Incredible artist. There's so many, man. That's what we got to bring back, man. That's what we got to bring back. Yep, back in the second and third grade. Yeah, you're probably the last. You probably are, Emo. Most people's spelling and handwriting now is diabolical. And I know I was talking to you guys about this before, but there was a vascular surgeon when my wife had to have surgery, who it was an incredible guy. He was I think he's first generation, born in the States, Vietnamese, and had the driest sense of humor. He's like, "Hey guys, how are you doing?" There were these two old ladies sitting out in the waiting room, and he goes, "I just was coming out to tell you, just finished working on your husband. He's doing great, doing great." And they go, well, excuse me, doctor, we had a question. We've heard that, for his condition, and I don't know how to say this to you, but we've heard with his condition, that, it could be beneficial for him to maybe smoke marijuana. And without even breaking a smirk, he goes, "I think it'd be beneficial to all of us if we got high." Legend, man. Total legend. It was the best delivery I've seen from a surgeon, for God's sake, man. Uh, Killed me. That dude was awesome. And so my wife was picking his brain. She goes, "What's the biggest thing you're running into?" And he goes, "Simple. Hand skills. They got all the book knowledge, they go through medical school, and they're going to kill somebody because they don't have the hand skills." And those hand skills came from penmanship. This is what everybody knows how to do. They know how to do this, and they know how to do this. That's all they've got. That's like lobsters can do that stuff, man. Shout out to Jordan Peterson. Um, the stuff that I do here, I'm talking while doing this. Now that's because those two things are very separate for me in terms of my work. But that's how much the hand skill thing is its own thing. It's muscle memory. You know, if you're a boxer and you're in a, I love boxing. You guys all know that, but I'm not a boxer. If you're a boxer and you have to think about what you're doing, if your muscles memory is not there, like if you have to if when you get hit in the head and hurt, um, you don't know to grab as a, like your body doesn't know to grab and hold as a reflex, you just keep swinging and try, you're done. I see so many fighters have shorter careers because of that. Well, it's the same thing with art. You've got to be able to, if someone was interested in coming into Comicsgate, wanted my advice, there are other people's advice that I would go to, John, or I don't claim to be the authority. Um, there's so many things that you can't have to work to do. If productivity is a problem for you, this is not the place for you. If you're not productive, don't do it. Like it's yeah, I do. I watch the UFC every now and again. Yeah, I'm not regularly, but I do catch up with it. I do keep up to date on it. Um, but if you're yeah, I followed fighters, watched a lot of documentaries on fighters too. Watched a lot of documentaries on fighters. Um, and of UFC fighters. Really incredible stories behind a lot of these guys. Really incredible stories. I like Volk. I think Volk is really impressive. I like oh god, the guy who the Spaniard, the guy from Spain. What's up, Prater 7? How are you doing, man? But it's that's a big thing. Don't try to do comics if drawing single images is difficult for you. You got to get really good at mastering the art form, or it's going to be a miserable experience for you. And if you can't, no one's going to be good at doing everything. No one's going to be good at, streaming or doing all of these things at the same time. But you've got to practice and learn how to stream. and you got to do that stuff to the best of your ability. I do so many things just to make this work, like the cheerleaders. When someone sends a super chat and you guys see the cheerleaders, that was a frame by frame animation where I took this GIF, I changed what was on their shirts frame by frame to be branded to the channel, put them in a background that I built in Photoshop of a like all that stuff is by me. There's no team behind me. And on top of that, guys, doing intros and trailers for people in Comicsgate as often as I could from the beginning. And doing those trailers to promote books at the beginning. The little book flip is another frame by frame job I did so that you get this zoom out. Actually, let me show you guys this real quick. One of the trailers, the first trailer you see is from Vaughn. I'm going to play just a couple of these real quick so you can get a sense of it. But watch this previews animation that just starts off the trailers. I used to work in a movie theater, which some of you guys know. And you'll see what I mean. And then also the preview, this has been approved by, all stuff I've made for this. So here you go. Everything you see there was, let me just make sure. Yeah. Everything that you see there was me reaching out to other creators and saying, hey, can you get me some artwork? I want to make a trailer for you to play before my show. I want to help promote your book. And all those folks, well, Eric, I know, obviously. Uh Past Master Dan. I saw it's like these look like they're connected thoughts. And I saw Grey Wolf in between, and I just was like, wait, what's happening there? Past Master Dan, yeah, when it comes time to put me in a home, you know, tell them to be gentle as they take me away, because it's getting close. It's getting to that time, man. I tell you. Um, but I'm like, how can I help you share your stuff, like show your stuff off and promote it? You know what I mean? Um, oh yeah, man, I did that towards the tail end of the campaign, which you can still get Battlebrick Road, by the way. But I did that towards the tail end. But I came up with the bricks coming together like that for the Battlebrick Road 100K trailer I made for the first book. Yeah, help me help you, and yeah, it's crazy. She has eyes of people I hate. There you go. Well, remember though, love the paint, man. Love the paint. That book is great. I would encourage you to pick it up because here's why I say that. Um, I like everything about the pitch of this book. I could talk about it. I wish I really should have Ann on at some point. Yeah, Sean taking cues from Jerry Maguire. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Um, but it's yes, and check out Dan Lawless's web store, guys. Go buy some Dan Lawless stuff for God's sake. And but here's the thing about it. is that I like the scale of the book. So there's this you guys, I'm sure you guys have heard this. This isn't like some unique thing. But there's this form of books that has become really cheesy and kind of schmaltzy, as would be said. Um is which are called gift books. And gift books are small size books that you keep, and they typically would have art or prose or beautiful things. Gift books, even Christmas Carol came as a gift size book. I like that size. And it's really great when you're trying to create a curiosity space, which is what I really believe is important for artists and for people to do, individuals to do. You should have a room where there's art and books you love and things that inspire you. Like art makes your good art makes your life better. Movies, physical media, records, all of that stuff is really, really important. And that's what I think about when Nosfero, when you back Nosfero or Springball, you're bringing them into your home. I want it to be something that makes you happy. All the stuff you see around me is stuff that really inspires me, makes me happy, makes me think, and just kind of gives me a real experience. And Anna's book is a documentation of both time and the evolution of her painting ability. And you can really see stuff she's doing with the flesh tones. And there's something about that that's great. And the subject matter is really cool that she painted a bunch of people's eyes that we know, um, and that she knows that she's friends with. But for me, it's kind of beyond that because it's an interesting jumping off point for exploring one subject matter and then trying to evolve your skill and mastery of it. That's what all artists do at a certain point, is to pick one thing, pick one media, pick one method, and just put your stuff put your full focus onto that. And I think she did that. And it's painting is a real what Bob Ross was really trying to show people is you got to get yourself moving. And sometimes that's getting your brush moving. When I play the violin, no one's going to pay me to do that. But that's not the point of it. The point of it is when Christmas rolls around, I can scratch out a couple of Christmas tunes. But when I'm doing this, my profession, as far as I'm concerned, or my Shanth was an instructor. Indeed, indeed. I was an instructor. We was instructors. Uh and but when I'm doing this is about you guys getting joy out of it. I'm like, here's what I got. I got monsters, I got boobs, I got creatures, I've got, vampires, I've got all this cool stuff and a little bit of Lovecraft. You like this stuff, you're gonna love this. That's my promise to you. That's my guarantee, as we say. I bought how oh yes. For my little sister because she started. Okay, you brought that up. You're making this happen because okay, the universe is talking sometimes, man. I'm telling you. Yeah, wood carving is awesome. Tiny effort. Love wood carving. My brother Nick, who I was just talking about, who's a legit polymath. I know that someone asked me recently, what is a polymath? And I had no idea why because I had mentioned that descriptor, and I had no idea why they were asking me. And then they were like, "There's a comic book coming out." I was like, "Oh, no, there's okay." So anyway, but studies wood carving. He can play the accordion, several different types of accordion. He knows Blender, Maya, the Unreal Engine, oil painting, watercolor and gouache, and sculpting. This dude is nuts. But you brought up this book. And I was just talking about it with my brother Rocky, man. This book, which I have a copy of out of respect for this book's existence, is the number one book I would say for if you are in comic skate, if you're an aspiring comic skater, whatever the hell it is, if you're young. I've taught at RISD for 15 years, I think it was, which was supposedly, yes, there's a Russian one that's got a wild name, and I forget what it's called. I can't think of it offhand. There's like only a few people in the area who can fix or tune them. It's like nuts. But yes, there's different styles for all the different Eastern European regions and European regions. Wild stuff. Accordion's a rabbit hole, man. But this is the book that everybody should be using. I've taught at what was considered the Harvard of art schools. I don't think so as much now. But I've taught some exceptional people who've done some exceptional things. This book right here, yes, we are in kindergarten, and speaks entirely to what I was talking. Eric. Eric, you are OG. You are a crypt walker, baby. This book right here is one of the best tools for learning comic book art ever. I've seen so many art books. I could talk about the Charles Bargue, Jean-Léon Jerome drawing course, which is one of the great drawing books. The Loomis books have stood the test of time. Andrew Loomis's Creative Illustration is a fantastic book. Andrew Loomis's figure drawing book is great. I think it's the best we have. It's better than Bridgman, with all due respect to Bridgman. For someone coming at it cold. Bridgman is great, but Bridgman doesn't explain a lot of things. Loomis is great because it's worked for a lot of people over a lot of time. It's better than Bern Hogarth. It's better than all that stuff. Yeah, I love I don't have a problem with Hogarth, though. I got to tell you that, Past Master Dan. I don't know if you do, but some people do. Those were my first figure drawing books. And Hogarth was a hell of a comic book artist. But those books wouldn't have existed if the heirs to Andrew Loomis were not very they felt that the nude figure stuff or the figure drawing in there was against their religion. So his children and the people who inherited the rights to that work kept it out of publication. His grandchildren, though, were capitalists. So those books became back in publication. I mean, you can get them online as a PDF, but guys, do your eyes a favor and get hard copies. Yeah, him and Rockwell. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I was about to do the Bridgman book. There's nothing, I'm not against Bridgman. Let me be clear. I own the Bridgman books. But Loomis is a very, like, you've got to kind of understand certain things. And Bridgman is great for gesture, but people aren't learning how to actually draw. Like so they have the confidence to let go. You learn the technique so that you can not think about it. Watch, if I'm painting and talking, how much I know how to paint through and through. And where would one find that book? It's difficult to come by. Which book are we talking about? Let me know, and I will be happy to help. But this right here is teaching you in a practical way the ABCs of composition. Yeah, have this on your desk with pride. Have this on your desk with pride. It's one of the best books on the art form. Period. And it takes a big page out of Andrew Loomis, but it targets comic books. This stuff is great. Shanth, have you seen the Jean-Léon Jerome's painting of the... Yes, Pygmalion, and yeah, one of my favorite paintings. It's one of my favorites. I have a couple of Jean-Léon Jerome paintings that I love. One of them was the one in the RISD Museum, which I love. Gosh, I've got a lot of stuff influenced by Jean-Léon Jerome. What is it called? God, what are the ones I love? I love Thumbs Reversed, of course, the classic that inspired what do you call it? How to Draw Comics the Marvel Way. This one right here. Yeah, this book, it should be in permanent print. I think you can still get it, but this one, but I'm sure there's a PDF of it, but I would encourage you guys. I just got it recently. A lot of libraries have it. You're absolutely right, Past Master Dan. So it's always in and out of print, but it's absolutely worth a pickup. But this book is what people got to stop. YouTube straight up deletes posts and comment sections to point to where it's not even worth coming. Yeah, oh, that's really annoying. Yeah. Just ordered Marvel book from Amazon. Awesome, Grey Wolf. Yeah. Everybody should have this book who's a comic book artist and have it as a point of reference in their minds. Under $10 too, yeah. Look at this. Just breaking down the figure, but here's where it gets into the stuff that comic book artists know. It takes what we know of Jack Kirby. Jack Kirby is brilliant, but you can't learn from Jack Kirby. Once you get good, you can learn things from Kirby, but you can't start with Kirby. I remember I had a watercolor painting teacher who like the story, like we had the same birthday. He was 50 years to the day older than me. He lived in the H.P. Lovecraft art studio, was his art studio. There's so much weird stuff that comes together. But a student was in class, and the teacher he's in his 70s at that point. He goes, who are you studying to learn watercolors? And the student, she goes, John Singer Sargent. And he just slammed his hand down on the table. And he goes, you can't learn from John Singer Sargent. And we were like, never seen him pissed off before. He looked nuts. And the student was like, she was like, why? And he goes, John Singer Sargent's a fucking magician. And then he bust out laughing. He was a great guy, man. When I told him my wife and Mrs. Enjetti and I had just gotten married, he'd had both of us as students, and he grabbed us both, pinched the shit out of our cheeks. He was a great guy, man. I miss him. Rest in peace, man. God rest him. But there's certain artists that you can't really learn from. They've got it. They've closed the door. And to me, the sign of a really great artist is there's no one who can do their style. Like they're the end of their style. Frazetta is the end of his style. Nobody can do him. That's why if you try to do Frazetta, you can't do anything. Here's my thing. Before I was in Comicsgate, when I knew absolutely nobody, I was on Instagram posting my artwork. And do you guys want to know who one of my first followers was? One of my early followers on Instagram was Sarah Frazetta. So Frank's granddaughter, who does all that stuff, was following me on Instagram before I was in Comicsgate, before I was doing any of this stuff, just based on the work, you know. And that's cool, man. People sort of notice that stuff, and you've either you've either got that connection with your work or you don't, man. Yeah, seriously. I backed it twice, man. Absolutely. Oh, that's awesome, Flutterbat. I love hearing that, man. Doing that trailer, man, was so fun. You know, was so fun. So here you go. Chapter 10. Draw your own comic book page, which is great advice. I don't draw figures this way. I could never figure this out. I used to try to, but it's great advice for composition and readability, man. But look at how they say, look, here's a 6-panel page. Here are different ways you could lay out this thing. This is great research and resources for how to do things. Look at these poses. Look at these angles. This is the definitive how to draw American comic books book. There's nothing that's come out since. How you think about value. Here's the panel, and here is it broken down in terms of its value hierarchy. Look at that. That is great. Isn't that fantastic? This is great stuff. These are great lessons in this book. By the way, you can take a look at this piece right here and break it down in terms of value. You know, you can break this piece down into value just like that. Let me see if I can do this. Let's desaturate the camera, okay? There. Now let's mess with the gamma a little bit. There you go. Look at that, guys. Do you see it? Light, dark, light. This is why I like Ecamm, by the way. The production ability is so much better for what you can do, and it streams at 1080 when it's not on the fritz, as we say. But look at that. Do you see the light, dark in that? That's what I can see in paint. That's why I paint. That's what I like about paint. So now I just bring the gamma back down to a dull roar, bring the saturation back up to where it was, set the temperature right, and we're back in color. But the trick is really understanding the value when you're doing this stuff. You've got to understand the ABCs of this stuff, and that's what makes this stuff important. When you see people who know how to do things, like you have to know how to paint in order to teach painting, you have to know how to understand value, composition, all of that stuff in order to make it work. And so when people would see my my layout pages for my paintings, this is what they look like. It's just light, dark design. That's it. And this is where, you know, this is where it goes, you know, or this is where it starts. And where it goes is all of this stuff. But the value hierarchy that I'm laying out in that's what makes Nosfero a readable painted comic book to the extent that that's possible. You wouldn't be able to read Nosfero. Yep, that's exactly right. So does John Malin. Respect. Every artist I've seen recommend that book for beginners. Yeah, I would say I recommend it for people beginning at that, but with the understanding that it may take their lifetime to understand fully all of that stuff. That's what a good book does. There's still stuff in there that takes my breath away. It's just great stuff, you know? It's just really great stuff. And we should be putting that resource out there for people coming in. It's like before you start like talking about you're going to launch a campaign because you're talking about whatever it is you're talking about. Quote Alec Baldwin in what's it called? Glengarry Glen Ross. Yeah. Simon Bisley's all about getting people excited about paint. I'm the same way with it. I'm like, get excited about paint. But we've got to reclaim we got to reclaim the practice of teaching people how we make comics and how we tell stories. And I don't know. I feel like teaching wise, I've done my bit for King and Country, so I'm taking a break right now. But the thought, like, it's one of those things that crosses my mind. If there was, I don't know. I can't think of a good answer for the things I would need with regards to teaching. Man, I can never get the angle right on this thing. Because when you teach, you give so much of yourself, and it's very easy to get burnt out, because when it's not appreciated. And by the way, to my students, former students who've appreciated that education, I appreciate. I don't need flowers. I don't need nothing. I just don't need someone sending me. So you're comic skate now? Screw you. No hello. You've met my wife and kids, asshole. Like, sorry, I'm a little spicy today because I'm on vacation. Um, Freaking ridiculous, man. People are nuts, man. But I have a mentor who's very important to me, Brian Stelfreeze. And Brian it, is gold forever. I mean, he doesn't have to, like, he can do whatever he wants to do. What he gave me, I cannot repay. It's so hard. And so for students to have, like, I feel like that's like the most disrespectful thing you could do is when someone gives you treasure of knowledge, especially when they're older than you. Like, I'm not going to lecture a mentor of mine on what they think about anything. Even if I disagree with them, I'm not. I don't know how else to put it. That's just, maybe it's a Southern thing, but I think it's just a respect thing, and it's weird, man. I just don't get it. And also, I mean, it's like just the stuff with the colleagues, man. It was just like, um, I got tired of, I got tired of being the giving tree in education. It's like not my, it's ridiculous, man. And it's like, I think there's just got to be a better way to do it. Jordan Peterson ran into that too. Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm 100%. Yeah. Yeah. I like seeing that. Thank you. I like that. I would have appreciated that from my students. So, but yeah, it's nice. It's like, not even that. Here's a crazy thing. Here's the craziest thing with someone who knows you, and this is absolutely true. How are you doing? How's the family? Haven't talked to you in a while. People just don't do that. I don't understand that. I don't get it. I mean, look, I'm not naive. I know it's clearly a thing. But yeah, man, that's a weird way to say hello after a while, you know? But yeah, I mean, uh it's I'm very very slow to trust people and just to let people get to know me or whatever. Um and I always try to be, you know, whatever, conduct myself a certain way. But it's, as I was joking with my mother-in-law on the phone, I'm very close to her. She's a very sweet gal. Um, she said to me something funny. She's like, wow, when someone pisses you off, like, bad, you're just done, aren't you? And I go, you already know the answer to that question. She's like, I do. And it takes a lot. It takes a lot, man. Oh, I'm so glad to hear that tiny effort. Absolutely. Like, people would not believe the things that have been said to me, like by people at work, like crazy stuff, and I would just deal with it. But you get to a point where you just go, like, it's really hard work, but if you want it, you can get it. It's a strange thing because, um, if you see somebody who's enthusiastic, positive, invested, and helps you without asking any expectation, the least you could do is not slap them in the face. And that's what I do. That's what I would always am about with my mentors and the people who help me. I remember every single person who has helped me. And it doesn't matter where things went, I remember every kind act. It's one of those things. Always have. But you have to work hard, but it's got to be possible. And I think that for a long time, a lot of artists and a lot of mentors, particularly in comics, you watch this happen. Yeah, what is that quote, Eric? You'll know this quote. There are three things that all wise men fear: um a moonless night, a sea during a storm, and the anger of a gentle man, I think, was the third one. Hey, what's up, Tammy D? How are you doing? Hail! How are you doing, sister? And I really think that's one of those things. Like it's like you think it's not possible till you push somebody to that point, and then you're kind of surprised because I think that uh some people confuse a kindness of demeanor with a lack of strength, and it's it might be the case sometimes, but it's not the case all the time. Plus, why would you want to? I don't still I'll never understand that, you know? It's what a weird thing. I mean, goodness gracious. There we go. Although I do have a theory. Funny enough, I do have a theory. I think that when people are positive and generous and excited when they meet people, that there's a certain kind of person that can't believe it's real, and I get why. I'm learning to like I had to learn how to like realize, oh yeah, okay, that person's totally full of it. There's but and it's a wise sort of suspicion to have, right? But there's another kind of person who sees people like that, and the more they realize they're like that, the more they hate them. It's very much what Jordan Peterson talks about with the Cain and Abel thing. Oh man, I've been sick too, and yes, that's exactly what I was so sick. Day before yesterday and into the morning yesterday. I slept for like 12 hours or so after that. I couldn't believe it. I never sleep for 12 hours. Feel better, Tammy. Who takes care of the nurse is the question. I hope you're taking care of yourself there. But it's and I get it. It's a weird thing. And I just kind of don't overthink it. People will sort of trust you in time, and kind of figure out because you can't fake stuff for this. Like I've been on YouTube now for over 5 years. You could watch a lot of streams of me. And I also talk while painting. Nobody like if I'm that good, I should be rich. If I'm evil with all these skills, I really should have put it together by now. So I don't know, man. That would be kind of weird. I should be in some kind of scheme or something. But no, I really love artwork, and I'm driven by passion and enthusiasm, and I like other enthusiastic people. You know, that's one of the things that was fun when I was helping out at Mrs. Enjetti's school at her work. Look at all the love around here. Hail, indeed, brother, indeed, man. Unfortunately, no one but the nurse take care of nurses. I know, I knew. Ugh, God bless you, Tammy. Feel better. But there's this, yeah, there's this thing that was really fun. I went in to help out because one of my wife's coworkers' daughter was having surgery because she tested for this particular gene. I think you guys can fill in the blanks there. She tested positive for this gene that was uh, uh, got her mother, killed her mother. And it's a bad gene. You don't want to have that gene. So she had to go get surgery, just to as a precautionary surgery. And so I was working at the job for 2 weeks, and one of the coworkers or women in the office where she works just stopped her finally, was like, is he always like this? And she's like, yeah, he's always like this. This is the real deal. It's not a day one thing. It's going to be there day 14. It's going to be year 25 of marriage. It's going to be, if you've known me, Rock says that a lot. I've known him for 31 years now, I think. And he's like, this is exactly what he's like. Like, I've known him for 30 years. This is him. It might be advantageous to be able to do the other thing, but I just don't, I don't know how I just can't do it. It's how do you look in the mirror? Like, it's just weird. I don't get it. The hardest thing to spot to me was always people who were able to fake it, and it's like not, I mean, really, who are really good too, by the way. I'm a very quick study. But there were some people where I was just like, oh man, really? But it's how it goes sometimes. It's like I want what I would say about, because art is so important to me. Woohoo! What's up, zombie boy? How you doing? Good to see you. One of the things that, yeah, take care, Eric. Eric Huffle's heading out. Take care, my brother. Have a great rest of the day, man. Um, one of the things that for me about the whole painting thing is that whether it's you're buying my paintings in the form of Nosfero, or you're buying my art anywhere, you're buying an original or a head sketch or a piece that I do for an auction, um, I want that beauty of the painting to really be something that inspires you. And I want to get people excited about painting. I want to get people buying painted comics and paintings in general, who've never bought one in their life. That's the fun part of it. And then getting excited for people. Yeah, fake it till you make it. Hey, I can, if I can do that in nursing school. Yeah, you can't fake it in nursing, man. You can't, man. This is the funny thing about that too. There was a gal who had just started nursing school, and she was a worker. Like, you knew she was going to have it together because she's been working her whole life, and she's been handling stuff her own life. She's very mature. And she said something that was so funny. She goes, there were so many people with big, enthusiastic looks on their faces going into nursing, and they were just washing out. Couldn't take it. You got to be able to take it. Comics is like that. Comics is really easy to figure out if you can take it. It's the easiest thing. All you've got to do is draw completely and finish, like colored and everything, by yourself, preferably, or black and white if you're not going to even do it in color. Like, if you're like, I'm not going to do that, so why bother? A couple finished comic books before you ever think about where you'll go. Like, I think you have to have made a comic book, and not for money, not for anything. Try to make a good comic book and try to see what you come up with. It will teach you a ton. I've been making comic books, complete comic books of my own since I was 14, man. Most of us have. We've done some version of that. And then it's also the same thing with practicing YouTube, and the same thing with everything else. It'll teach you a lot, but there's gold in them there hills. There's gold out there. The How to Draw Comics, the Marvel Way book is exceptional. There's also tons of people inside of Comicsgate. One of the cool things about it is willing to give advice for how to get started, and in some cases give very straightforward advice. I mean, very real advice. I never want to waste people's time with canned advice. I think it's important that people kind of know where you stand in terms of, like, someone asks me, what's the best way to make art? What's the best way to do this? Um, that is scary. I don't know if I needed to know that, Tammy. And thank you for sharing. Nosfero the Crypt Walker, guys. Second Chance campaign's going to be wrapping up soon. Don't miss it. That's all I'm going to say. Do not miss it, because I'm not going to be doing another chance of that for a little while, because I wanted to make sure I caught people up with it who really just missed it as the campaign closed and things like that. And I want to get the word out about that book. You know, it's the word is. I feel like the word is definitely out, just because of a lot of the great opportunities I've had inside of Comicsgate, and some big commissions for the painted stuff. Thank you to everybody who's supported me in that regard. But it's just, I've got an idea for book, not even an idea. I've got a story for book 2, and I cannot wait to tell it. And you're gonna want to have these books in your collection. I'm like looking through, looking through the ring light right now, so my eyes are not focusing, but I'm doing my best. Sorry, guys. Sorry if this isn't the best painted work you're seeing here, but I'm supposed to be relaxing again. Supposedly supposed to be on vacation. Mrs. Enjetti is so funny. She's a patient person. God bless her. I just love the idea of her holding on for dear life and wrapping her arms around a guy who doesn't have a head. The headless hero here. It's too fun, man. I've got 49 likes. There you go. That's how you do it. Would you like a shirt, a mug, or a sticker with one of my designs? Check out my TeePublic store. That's right. You can get the Nosfero, the Crypt Walker shirt. You can get the Made with Liberty in the USA. And my favorite one, Hold Fast, Outclass, Outlast, Give Nihilism No Quarter. I love this shirt. Give Nihilism No Quarter is my motto. And I also love that it says Hold Out and Last, the way that the shirt is designed. But yeah, I love that shirt. Fun stuff, man. That's the secret. Just don't stop. Don't stop. You see here. Can't stop, won't stop. My bad, had to refresh. Been here since the start. My God, bless you, Mikey. That is something. Because we've been going for a bit. That painting is coming along great. Thank you, Tiny Effort. I really appreciate it, man. Shanth, I'm supposed to be relaxing. Madam Enjetti, you're doing it. I know. I know. Believe you me. She knows that. Oh, woman is a saint. An absolute saint. Yeah, I told her, last night I sent her a text because I was still recovering. I was feeling really sick, man. And sorry again, Tammy, you're having to go through that. But I sent her a message and I said, just so you know, you are absolutely 50% of everything that makes this whole Shanth Enjeti art thing possible. Um, because it's just, I don't know if I say it enough, but it's like, I do all of the sort of physical work of it, but it's not, there's no way I could do any of this stuff, without having her as a support system. It's just not possible. And, sometimes I think it's that's why I say it to you guys all the time too. You know, it's important to let people know what being channel members does, what super chats do. Like this stuff isn't painted with pixie dust. It's paints cost money, it's printed, it's shipped, all that stuff, and your support is so important. Charlotte, have you seen Walt Simonson's Battle for Muspelheim? No, I haven't. It is ginormous. My God, now I want to check it out. Give me just overview. Give me an overview of it. Sounds cool. Yeah, Walt Simonson and I had the same teacher that I was referring to previously, and all three of us have the same birthday. What a trip. When I got into RISD, they were recruiting me so hard. Walt Simonson is an alum of Rhode Island School of Design. They actually had him call me as a high school student to try to encourage me to go to RISD. Crazy, isn't it? It was very kind of him to do it, too, by the way. Very kind of him to do it. I didn't know hardly anything about him. That's so embarrassing to admit now, but I mean, I knew I familiarized myself with him and stuff, and I knew his work, but it's I was not uh, conversant. God knows. Yeah. Let me see here. Oh, I never super chat, but always. Oh, listen. Yeah, absolutely. The gifted membership, so many books I can't back. And super chat understood. Yeah, huge battle between Thor's family and Hela's and the underworld. Damn. Well, that sounds incredible. Yeah, that's incredible. Yeah, his stuff. The creation of Beta Ray Bill is probably one of the best inventions in the Thor mythos. You know, just incredible, incredible character design. I mean, I love what he said about it, like the idea of he wanted something that was noble but also kind of a little bit intimidating. So he thought of a horse skull as a possible design basis for it, and yeah, just a really great design, man. He killed it with that. Plus, I love those Thor issues where the Thor issue where he turns into a frog. That's just awesome. I mean, there's a real sense of play to those comic books. There we go. Just kind of putting those values together so that when we zoom out and we look at this thing in terms of there we go, as a monochromatic piece. And so again, apologies about the glare here. It's just it's going to be one of those things. But you get a real sense of the space of the painting, and I just kept wondering if there's a way I could make that happen, but no. But you get a sense of the space of the painting, and you get a sense of the foreground, and but mainly it's just a sense of adventure. Who are these characters? You know what I mean? That's what it comes down to. Yeah, huge battle between Thor and Sandgate. Just making sure I'm caught up on the chat. Very cool, man. So yeah, I mean, what's this stuff for? It's vacation artwork right now. I'm gonna go back to work as always. But I've been told that I have to take a vacation for my sanity and my health, and so that's where we are. Yep, check it out, Sean. Walt Simonson on X. Awesome. I will absolutely check that out, past Master Dan. That is great. Yes, I will. Yeah, looks like a dark mix of Venom and Doomsday. Yeah. Oh yeah, the character. Yeah, absolutely. It's oh man, I can't wait to. Well, actually, I did show you guys a little bit of this character, but if you're wondering what this character like his the gist of his color palette, it's like a very sort of like Halloween themed character, like very pumpkin patch from hell. It's like pumpkin patch meets Swamp Thing meets everything. I'm just trying to think of some of the things it is, but it's like there's so many crazy influences on this thing. It's nuts. Oh, Trips, thank you for becoming a member. Much appreciated, my friend. I gotta send you some cheerleaders. Welcome, welcome, and hail, Trips. It's good to see you, man. And here are the cheerleaders coming your way.
Charge! Charge!
So channel members, you guys get now your custom emojis when you become a channel member, and you also are going to get next stream, and every stream I do, you're going to get until you're while you're a channel member, you get your name in the credits. So I will be updating the credits at the end of the show for the next show, so that you will see your name in lights at the end of the show. So thank you so much for becoming a channel member. Thank all of you guys for being here. Make sure you do hit the like on the way out on this show. I'm going to go ahead and wrap up because we're almost at 4 hours. And again, I'm supposed to be on some kind of vacation break, but I don't know if I'm doing really well at it. And thank you. I do appreciate that, Trips. I appreciate you too, my friend. Thank you for being here. And so we're just going to keep doing art. We're going to keep having fun and seeing what we can come up with on this fine channel. And so go out there and bag some books. We've almost got Pigman to 20K, guys. If you could go take a look at that book. It was great. Gen X Catholic, bro. I just got here. I'm so sorry, Gen X Catholic. Holy cow. I was just thinking about you the other day too, man. Proudly Gen X, man. Respect. Respect. Thank you guys so much for being here today. Thank you for all of your support, channel members, super chats, everybody. I do appreciate it. And we'll be back very, very soon. Much love, brother. Nobody's fault, man. I'm just glad you're here. Yeah, guys, so here we are. Just been doing some work, and I'm gonna keep doing it. Have a great day, Comicsgate. Indeed, indeed. So from the heart of Lovecraft country and the birthplace of American religious liberty, my name is Shanth Enjeti. You've been watching Shanth Enjeti Art. As always, speak easy, stay gold, keep the faith, and again, peace be with you, and give nihilism no quarter. Thank you guys so much. Everybody have a wonderful, wonderful day, and take care of yourselves. Get some artwork, get some books, paint, do something that inspires you, go for a walk, or just do nothing, sit back and just enjoy breathing. That's what it's all about. Take care, Brent, and it's great to have you here. Thank you for coming by. Trips, thank you so much. Flutterbat, thank you so much. Lord Henson, Comics Gator, my man, be good or be good at absolutely right. Amen, man. Amen. Yeah, I will see all of you guys soon. Skeleton Core Comics, thank you for being a channel member. Mikey, thank you for sticking around for the duration. Appreciate you so much, man. It's great seeing all of you guys. Past Master Dan, as always, it is great seeing you, Past Master Dan. And Tiny Effort, original OG Spring Ball fan, undefeated. It's great having you here. Yes, and take care, Comicsgate. I'll see you guys soon. And here are the credits, guys. I appreciate you all. Thank you, Nomad Damon. God bless you. And you've got a lot of names you've put in these credits, brother. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Take care, guys.